Hello, everyone, and welcome back to this chaotic Cormundum campaign. And apparently, as soon as that happened, the dog decided now is the perfect time to eat one of our players' hair. Rest in peace, Paris. You will be missed.
Do I roll initiative against the dog?
No.
I love that you assume that I'm a level to take the dog.
No, they're not rolling initiative to fight the dog. They're rolling initiative to pet the dog.
Yes, to boop snoot.
They all wish to do various, pets and boops to the puppo. But that is not why we are here. We're here for the game.
The game.
The game. Y'all ready?
Le game grump.
Ready.
Yeah.
When last we left off, you guys were in the city of Amber. Which, if you guys are on the Roll20, you'll actually see I put a very helpful "you are here" dot.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Where are we? I can't.
I will not fault the person who has no eyes.
I have a eye and a funky eye.
AI and a funky eye.
You have an AI?
After you guys had managed to avoid having a collision course with the city and finding a strange brick, you entered the city, went about enjoying the tavern, were attacked by a large
Chicken.
grounded
Chicken.
avian chicken would be a good descriptor, and 2 foot soldiers who managed to at one point reach in and pull out the brick and have their eyes kind of flash. Along with all this, one of the players was hinted that there is a decent sum of change to be earned if they are willing to do a job, perhaps with the friends that they have. Good escort, if you will. And when holding the brick, they realize they feel pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to return, see if you can return or keep this from Aurelius?
Elizabeth is going to go find Aurelius and discuss the brick with him.
Okay.
So she's gonna have to. What was I forgot the bar guy, the owner's name already. Arvel? He's still behind the bar, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Staring up at
Are you...
just... Huh.
The man just watches murder undead and just like,
she'll go up to him because Elizabeth doesn't know that Aurelius already has a room and went upstairs. So she's gonna go over to Arvel and kind of. Have you seen the tall brooding dude with the cloak that we were fighting with?
You already went upstairs.
Which room?
I mean, if he didn't tell you guys,
Do you want me to just go? Oh, never mind.
he's in upstairs room number 6. I'm not gonna pull you on. I need a little bit of something to get a laugh after all that. There was a chicken that shoved its head through my door and started smacking my patrons. I was this close to jumping over the bar and handling it, but it looked like you all were having fun.
That's one word to call it. Thank you. Thank you, really. And Elizabeth will hurry up the stairs and find room 6 and knock on Aurelius's door. Will he answer is on him.
He absolutely will. But like he stands up. He once more pulls his hood up over his head, and he walks towards the door. Slowly creaks open.
Hey, buddy. So back down there, you dropped something. I don't know if you're aware that you dropped something, but you dropped something, and I was given something, and I think that you might want the something. And Elizabeth will just hold out the brick. You dropped this?
It appears I did.
Good and bad news about said brick. Good news, there's more. of
That's-
them.
How's
guess.
this good news?
I don't know. Just let me talk, please. Um, but you know that job I was talking about earlier?
In passing, yes.
Would you like to maybe acquire more knowledge about said brick?
Could be useful.
The
Learn more
tower.
from seeing and doing than.
Well, you know that tower they've been talking about?
Yes, I do believe that they were talking about a tower.
This is from tower, and there's more. And according to I'm gonna call reliable source, the clergy isn't too aware of what's going on. I think it's all a blur. Do you want the brick? Before I keep talking and embarrassing myself, do you want the brick?
Calm down.
Easier said than
okay.
done.
Yeah, I understand that. Okay, but
Okay.
I'm going to take the brick. I'm going to help you.
Before
Okay.
Aurelius even reaches for the brick, Elizabeth is going to hesitate and slightly pull it back to her and go, "Are you sure you want the brick?"
I am sure.
She'll finally just hold it out with her head like dropped, not even looking him in the eye, and just say, "Take it, please," before I say anything else.
Passive insight of 14. Can I gauge anything from this?
What do I roll to hide what's going on?
Click on 2DM
Uh-huh.
and roll me a.
Okay. Let me see if I
Does
can do
party
this.
stuff.
That get to you?
They seem to be awkward in social situations, which you have noted. Nothing really that catches your attention, just a person who's not good at talking to people, just trying to not embarrass himself.
Okay. So Aurelius will not say anything. He'll just take the brick, put it back in his pouch, and he'll place a hand on. No, he saw the reaction a lot this time, so he won't do that.
Thank you.
Like he does hesitate in a moment. He's like, "Wait, no, you'll be okay. We need some rest. We'll figure out the details of this by dawn."
Deal. Good night. And Elizabeth will turn tail and very quickly head down the hall to the room that she purchased for herself.
Mm-hmm.
And once she is locked inside her room, she sits down on the bed and pulls a piece of jewelry out of her pouch and starts to tinker with it, trying to open it up.
Okay. Do you have a set of Tinker's tools?
I think I do. Let me check. If not, that's just going to make it even better. Where did it go? Probably not.
Are you trying
No,
to
she
force
doesn't.
it open, or just like try and tinker with
Oh,
it?
I know it. No, what she will do
Mhm.
is she will take the hand axe off her belt and try to use that to force it open.
Yeah, roll a strength check. Not to DM.
I know. I thank you for saying that because I almost had it still on whisper.
Right. So you're you're trying to like knock into it, somehow open this thing. This thing's resilient. It is just not bending to your whims, and after a bit, you eventually are going to have to give up and just call it a night.
That's exactly what. In frustration, she will put the piece of jewelry back and call it a night.
It's not like one attempt either. It's like you're
No.
trying a few different ways, and it's just being an absolute pain. But that's the evening. I did ask you all last time if you were doing anything else in the evening. We all said no, so we'll move on to the morning.
Rest.
You all hear the gentle crow of a rooster and are reminded of the night before with various levels of, I'm going to hate that noise for a little bit. But in whatever way that you wish, you awaken.
Crap.
I already rolled for you. You're not.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I took care of you.
Thank you.
You're not terrible this morning. It's
Okay,
better than most days.
I'll take it.
You guys can smell the preparations of breakfast. Smells like a rather simple type of meal.
Aurelius does not want eggs.
Eggs. I'll eat yours, bro. Come on.
It does smell like there's a good amount of eggs, but possibly some.
How dare you? How dare you?
The egg.
some
No, I'm talking to Paris. How dare you?
Embrace the gay.
You're
mean,
already
it's just-
starting. I love it.
I hate it. I mean, I don't, but honestly,
I already broke her. We've been in session 10 minutes.
shut up. You know what you did.
So you were
Artemis-
saying?
Artemis just kind of grumbles and like swats a little at Serenity before reluctantly getting up and touching her face, then her hair, then her ears, and then blindly grabbing for her cloak wherever she put it.
Honestly, I don't know why, but Artemis feels like the just toss clothes in random direction person.
She is, and her glasses are somewhere, and she is also looking for those.
Serenity will hold them up by their fucking frame. I believe you.
Artemis reaches out with her hand.
So hand them to
Can I-
her.
Thank you. And she puts it back on her face, and then proceeds to actually find her cloak. And pulls it on and pulls the hood over her head to hide her ears and her face, for the most part.
Elizabeth would probably, first off, jolt out of bed the moment she hears the noise from the car, just like almost ready to grab her sword. But once she realizes there's no attack, she's going to rebind her arm because it has loosened over the night, and just throw her cloak over her shoulders and head downstairs.
It seems to be a hearty meal. No eggs to be seen, as far as you can tell. Although there are bits of pan-fried ham and bacon.
Okay.
With
I can accept
bits
that.
of chopped greens. There's actually some where it looks like it's the main entree, whereas in other areas it's the side dish. There is hash browns that have been just finished being made. There's like little bits of butter that have been like slopped down
Hungry.
next to each of them for you to just kind of slip up and slap onto the fire roasted bread. Which the bread has like prongs sticking through it. There's no toasters, but they have it clearly like hanging near the fire, where it's just like, you know the rotisseries?
Yeah.
He has one of those devices, but it's for slices of bread.
Okay then.
Yeah. Aurelius just like goes downstairs, and he just sits down and has food. Yeah, doesn't really say anything. Doesn't really draw much attention to himself. He's kind of sleepy. His brain's not fully there.
Your brain not work.
It
When
worked, just slow.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
It worked just slow.
You'll see once Elizabeth sits down, you'll see her messing with her pouch before pulling out an ornate bottle from her bag, opening it, and taking a giant swig before staring inside. I have to roll to see if this actually will continue to do what I need it to do.
Is it the common item?
Yeah, it's my common item.
That should be endless.
No, I have to roll a 20.
Right.
I have to roll a d20.
Right. If it rolls a 1, it's just like no more for you.
Yeah, okay. Then she'll just kind of look inside, jostle it around a bit, and take another big swig.
Roll the d20.
I just saw the roll for gay thing.
Okay,
Shut up.
it has not gone empty yet.
So you're able to get a little bit more, and you're like, okay, I can keep my morning going with some semblance of brain function.
And she'll quickly look around, put the top back on, and put it back in her pouch.
Easy enough.
Artemis will come down the stairs. She's pulling on a pair of black leather gloves. And she's still yawning. It's a little audible. She's kind of swaying a little bit as she walks down the stairs. She's not fully awake. She's like, smells good. Mm-hmm.
Shirley's walking
Really?
in front of her just in case she falls.
Aurelius does a little sleepy wave.
Food? There's food.
Is that potatoes?
There's hash brown, yes.
Excellent.
There's brown hash.
Brown hair.
Hash of
hash of the brown.
variety.
No.
Is there
Browniest,
coffee?
hashiest.
There
What is this coffee?
No, there is. It's expensive though because it is a staple that comes from Chakrel. It is imported, so it's actually going to cost you like at least 2 silver for like it's. Granted, it's not like a small mug of coffee. It's like a pint.
Artemis lets out a long yawn. She's like, I'll have a pint of coffee.
Yep. So they will give you that. So yeah, it's 2 silver for that. For how good of a meal are you looking to get? A modest, comfortable, poor? Wealthy,
Modest.
aristocratic? Modest. Okay.
Modest for Elizabeth.
Did
Protein
you
and
just say
potato.
aristocrat?
Yes, aristocrat meaning like super high end. You're getting premium beef. You know that kind of stuff. You could actually that is
Oh,
an optional
no.
option.
Artemis wants the protein and potato.
5 silver pieces. Just knock it
Okay,
off.
that's-
If you need a break,
that's-
gold piece, you can.
Aurelius is just happy with whatever is given at this point.
Of course.
He's
Getting
sleepy.
comfortable.
He's
Yeah,
not
he-
too picky.
Of course.
Artemis isn't too picky either. She just needs some carbs and some protein.
5 silvers.
We're gonna
you can
need-
deal with that.
Shirley needs a lot of food.
Did
you
you want to
just
get
say-
more than just a modest?
Yeah.
If you want to get more than a modest, getting it comfortable is 8 silver, and it does add a bit more to the helpings. Probably more to your needs.
What could I get with a single gold piece?
You could get a comfortable meal that I just mentioned. You can,
Yeah.
if you go, actually no, you can actually get a. I apologize. A comfortable meal is that per day? Not.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck?
Mm-mm.
My apologies. A modest meal is 3 silver. Comfortable is 5. Wealthy is 8.
Okay, then yeah, Elizabeth
Yeah.
spent a little bit more than she should have.
So no, that just
Wealthy.
means you would get the comfortable, bigger portions.
Okay.
I was looking at
Yeah.
lodging, not at meals. For some reason, they don't have a little highlight to show that they're a different line.
I'll still
She'll
pay
take the
I'll still pay
portion.
for it.
with the 5 silver because she enjoys having leftovers.
That's fair.
Because I don't like doing math, I'm just gonna spend a gold piece.
Spend a gold piece, keep the change. You get a wealthy meal, which means that it's not bigger in portions. It's just higher in quality. There's a bit more like of less of a grease and more of like a succulent cooked sheen to it that just gives it this look that's just like, okay, that looks kind of good. That looks like you got the high quality. and then you just kind of added the extra herbs and spices you keep in the back. You know, the ones you don't let out for just
Yeah.
anyone.
All 12 secret spices.
All 12 secret spices.
Oh damn, dude, living the high life.
Give it here.
Aristocratic.
It's
you
funny.
added, secret 3.
It's really funny because Aurelius would have been wretched if we didn't get the 60 gold pieces.
You're
Same.
welcome.
Hey!
This is the first good meal he's had in years. Well, I wouldn't say years, but this is the first
It's been a
He
while.
deserved it.
yeah.
I'm getting what he's getting. You know what? I'm fair with
You're
the
gonna go
gold.
wealthy.
Yes. She will outright say, don't give me high end, just give me more.
I need to get character profiles so I can put it on the screen so everyone can know what you guys are and whatnot. Sorry, I was just I'm thinking out loud. Sorry.
Artemis is still gonna eat her food, but she's also gonna be stealing off of Serenity's plate occasionally.
Every time she steals off her plate, Serenity, snaps her head to look at her with the single most unguarded what the fuck expression on her face.
Every time Elizabeth sees Artemis stealing food from Serenity, she almost guards her plate with one of her arms while she's eating with the other.
You may not have this.
Aurelius offers some of his.
Ever the
Artemis just gives
sweetheart.
him an odd look, and she's like, "I'm good." As she steals another piece of food from Serenity's plate.
Aurelius, in confusion, raises an eyebrow and takes his food back.
She was looking at where Artemis's hand was, just like,
Artemis is more or less expecting Serenity to start stealing food back.
she will start doing. She only takes the meat. She'll start doing it. She'll start taking the meat off your plate.
And she's like, and Artemis will not even flinch at that.
Aurelius is just rubbing his eyes at this point. He's too tired for this.
What the fuck is this bullshit?
What have I got myself into?
He's not questioning it at this point. He's just this is what's happening.
She's processing. She's processing Artemis's stuff.
He's I was trying to be nice, but I guess whatever.
It's not you, bro. I promise.
It's just that she likes to take things from Serenity, and Serenity lets her.
She has no reason to stop her.
Yeah, they share a lot of stuff. She's just gonna be taking her food too.
Oh, I'm sure they do share a lot of stuff.
Fuck off.
Anyways. The meal goes by quickly. There's not much in the way of anything slowing you down. You have Amber at your fingertips. How would you like to proceed after you are... if you have anything you want to discuss during breakfast, by all means, I'm not going to stop you, but... Otherwise...
Artemis looks around and is like, do y'all think there's a mechanic shop nearby? I need to get some oil.
Mechanic
I'm sorry.
shop.
Mechanic?
Perhaps a smith.
Sorry, Smithy. I just need some oil.
Why do you need oil?
What?
Just raises her arm and slowly lowers it, and it starts to creak.
Oh.
I'm not gonna question it at this point. We've fought chickens. I'm sure there's
chickens. I like how that's why you don't question it, because we fought chickens.
We fought a
We're
giant
weak
chicken.
now!
We fought a giant chicken, we're like family. You fight one giant chicken, immediately, we're family. Anime rules. You fight a giant chicken, family.
I mean, this sounds about right. This is just par for the course!
Look, I'm willing to help you guys if you need it. I just need a minute to wake up.
Would you like some of my coffee?
I've never had
A
coffee
massive
before.
pint. She pushes the pint over to him and to let him try it.
At the mention of coffee, Elizabeth is going to pull the bottle out of her bag again and take another giant swig. And God damn it, it's empty.
Like, shaking like, no! How could you forsake me?
And she's gonna gives like
do this.
like a and puts the cup back on, and then kind of slumps in her chair with her head in her head in her hand, kind of going. So
Is
Smith,
something the matter?
did Serenity's accent change?
No, she's always been British.
Okay, no, everything's fine. I just I don't understand the workings of certain things sometimes. That's all.
Aurelius tries the coffee, and the look on his face is just kind of like blank. And then he looks down to the drink, looks back to Artemis, takes another sip, keeps staring, and he goes, nothing's happening. I'm feeling more tired.
Give it a minute. I promise it's going to kick in
It'll kick in.
forcefully.
Unless you start
It's-
living on the stuff, and then it'll never work.
When
Artemis reaches
Serenity,
over and starts to pull the pipe.
when-
Aurelius is not waking up. He's getting more tired.
oh Lord, poor man.
Oh no.
Did Kendall go robot for anyone else as well?
Just a
bit,
little.
yeah.
Uh-oh.
Her camera went wonky too.
The internet hiccup.
Kendall?
Kendall? Kendall!
Better go
Right here?
soliding it.
Yes.
There we go.
she is.
That was weird. Your
Victory!
camera's still frozen for me though. It's a weird face.
She's probably gonna have to like start or stop her camera share and then restart it.
Oh,
Deja
now
vu.
it's in the middle of photo blur. Blurry face. Oh,
Ah, she'll be back. There we go.
no.
Weird.
Welcome
Yeah.
back.
Thank
It's
you.
work now.
Here we go. It was probably just a hiccup in the internet. Mine has it all the time.
Internet high cup.
So, you were saying you needed oil? And she's frozen again.
No. How can it be?
How could this happen to thee?
Mistakes were made.
There we go. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
Wobbly.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Okay, there we
Can you hear
go.
us?
Hello?
Kendall.
Kendall?
Yes.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
There you
Okay,
are.
there we go.
It took a bit to catch
Okay.
up. So we're going to go get oil.
Yes, we're gonna get oil.
Oh, what? Aurelius looks around and he goes, Is there a smithy nearby?
There's a few smiths actually. Which one were you looking to go to? There's the
Which
Fire
one were you
Drake's
looking at?
Hearth. There's Boaks. There's Targais. Those are the main three I'd recommend, but you know. Actually, no. Fire Drake's my tavern. Sorry.
You sell oil?
I mean, depends. What are you looking for? Olive oil to cook with?
No.
Oh, in
Olive
which case
oil.
then Smithies.
I believe. Yeah.
Smithies.
There are many uses for olive oil, but this is not what I'm looking for.
Correct.
What are more uses for olive oil than cooking?
Yes. What are more uses for olive oil?
I
Don't-
don't want to know
Well, not
this
elaborate.
answer.
Don't question it. You don't want to know the answer currently. Just Boaks or Targais.
I leave it to the person who actually needs the oil. And she'll just go back to Elizabeth will just go back to eating her food, looking suddenly very tired.
Aurelius is getting more tired from the coffee.
So Elizabeth and Aurelius are half asleep at the table right now.
I don't know if it will work for Elizabeth, but Aurelius, I do have a potential method for you to wake up.
Whatever was in that coffee, he gets distracted by a torch.
They're starting to put those out because it's morning.
She lets out a low whistle when she moves her hand in front of Aurelius's face.
Sorry, what?
Are you alright?
Yes, I just got distracted, that's all.
I said that I could potentially find a way to wake you up.
And how would you do that exactly?
Well, there are two ways that I could do this. One, I could just smack you in the face. But I don't think you want that.
Yeah, her
Two.
smacking you hurts like a bitch.
Maybe a
take a
spa
hit or
might
two.
wake you up? Are you sure?
A spa, as in like combat?
Yes. I've already done my exercises for this morning, but I just can't have to do a little more.
She's an absurd morning person.
We're already talking about fighting.
I'm willing, if you are, but only if you insist.
Insist. I could just
I-
smack you and it would probably hurt less than the sparring.
If you're gonna spar 5 gold on Serenity, just saying.
You'll probably beat me. I tend not to fight at oh, what's the phrase that's used? Fully fight in spas?
It's more like
Max-
a form of training.
She nods her head. Maximum
Okay.
effort, something along those lines. She wiggles her hands.
I still say 5 gold on Serenity. Elizabeth just yawns and like pulls her hood over herself and just leans more on her other hand. Whatever you guys are gonna do, I'm putting 5 gold on whatever.
Artemis is mostly deciding to tune out this conversation and looks up and is like, which smithy is the closest again?
Yes, right, the
Between the
smith.
two of them, it would be Boaks.
I'll drop by there. If they don't have what I need, I'll drop by the other place.
Alright, that's no skin off my nose. Have a good day.
Thank
You're
you!
staying here tonight, right?
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you come back, yes.
If we come back.
Alright, I hope you come back. I like your money. Bye.
And we like your rooms.
Good. I keep them clean. Speaking of...
Yeah, no bed bugs in this one. Much appreciated.
Ugh. Don't worry about it. Keeping it clean.
So, are we sparring or are we going to get
Are you
oil?
sparring?
Are we sparring?
She doesn't want to insist if he doesn't want to. She can just smack him if he'd prefer that.
Aurelius doesn't care.
Alright, well, are you gonna let me hit?
Again, if you're going to hit me, just hit me.
Pow! 5 damage.
You actually go for the... Alright. Whack! You see kind of blinking little bits of stars. You're like, not bad. Kind of sit back like, alright, I'm awake.
Yeah. It just took away that 5 damage.
Doesn't hold back.
Aurelius, like, it almost seems like he's unfazed by it for a few seconds, and then his eyes widen and he's like, that'd do it.
I want you to keep in mind, this woman doesn't look muscular to you.
Yeah.
So you wanted to be pretty. You didn't want to be
Tru-
sexy.
Trust me, Aurelius has seen his fair share of women who are small, who can kick his ass. Yeah, again, unfazed, just pure, yep, that'd do it. I'm awake to an extent.
To a very full extent. Just fucking rub his face.
As you do. So,
Question: which side of the face did you hit?
Your left, my right.
My left? Alright.
Yeah.
It feels funny. It doesn't feel like normal skin.
It really is.
Yes?
She kind of... May I do something a little bit unorthodox?
Suko side.
Because...
honor.
Sorry, say again?
May I do
I heard
something a bit
Sorry.
unorthodox, maybe?
Define unorthodox.
Well... Your face felt different, and I'm not sure if I was imagining things, or if perhaps it really was.
There's a reason I have my hood up.
So people cannot feel your face? She was
Well-
actively confused.
So that people cannot see that side of my face more so than anything else. He's not lying, he's just like kind of uncertain of how best to explain.
She kind of tilts her head. Why would you want people to
Reaches
not
over.
see that side? It looks fine to me.
Artemis reaches over and puts a hand on Serenity's arm. He's like, probably has similar reasons to me. Don't. I would press on it.
Looks between the two before she nods. I apologize if my questions upset you.
It's quite alright, it's not the first time they've been asked.
Smile. Well, I believe we have somewhere to be. Would you both like to come with us?
I have nothing else I need to do right now, so lead the way.
I am following where the winds take us.
So you're
I'll
going
be the
with
wind
us?
now.
Be our wind, Kendall.
Be the wind beneath our wings.
Flap, flap, flap.
I need you guys to wiggle my cloak so it looks edgy in the wind.
No!
You get a cloak of billowing.
Oh
Where's
god.
the wind coming from? It comes from within.
Where does the
So
wind
that's
come
why
from?
that-
You don't want to know.
So that's how Batman does it.
Yeah, it's real powerful farting.
Oh lord.
I am vengeance. I am the night.
I am
I
the breaking of the
am-
wind.
Oh my.
Bruce Wayne, Windbreaker.
What have we
Anyway,
become?
Alright.
What have we become?
this is
Roar.
always how it's been. This is new to you?
Not new, but pleasant.
This is the way.
Oh lord. Do you know the way?
The way.
The way. So, Artemis, are you leading us?
Yeah, she's gonna lead
Alright.
toward that, smithy.
Boke Smithy. As you are looking around, you can see there's a few places that are starting to kind of get their, their bearings and whatnot. As you're moving through the streets, you do note that there is a very soft but distinct sound of a hammer on metal. That tang, 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 which for this early in the morning is rather impressive. But as you look around, you'll eventually see the words Boke's Smithy. And as you approach, you do note that the sound is coming from said smithy.
Elizabeth is going to kind of keep into the back of the group and kind of scan the area as they walk out of habit.
Make a perception check.
Okay. Perception. Not performance.
Not
Not
performance.
That would have been really odd.
I'm going to start dancing and
Nope.
No.
Nothing out of normal.
it's still a very lazy, very early morning. Nothing moving about, at least too much that you would note. There's a few people who are just kind of awake at this point. They're just kind of doing their thing. There's a human. Actually, there's like 2 or 3 humans that look like they're part of the guard who are just kind of like moving about. One of them kind of like occasionally scratching at their neck, looking around, as though they're just kind of getting a sense of everything around them.
Okay.
Usual busy work of the morning patrol.
Well, Elizabeth is still gonna keep behind everybody just in case.
Of course. Right, so
What was the name of the shop again?
Folks.
Boaks. I will type it into the chat for you. Boaks Smithy.
And is the door already open?
Yeah, doors open. As you
Yeah,
enter inside, you can see that there is a warmth emanating from it. The fire's already stoked. And you hear that tang, tang, tang of a forge in process. Looking around the room, a lot of the area that you immediately enter into does not have a lot of items that are showcased. It's more a lot of, how do I put it? More simple items, if you will. Items outside of weaponry and the like. Which is a more interesting choice for a number of smiths you've seen. Although, being fair, with weapons and such, keeping those into the open is not usually the forte. But it does have a number of like barrel grips, like the bits used to hold it in place.
This is more like an actual traditional smith that would spend most of their time like working on tools and utensils needed for the people around them more so than an armorer smith. That makes
a
sense.
lot of the items look to be, although you Artemis, make me a smith's check intelligence, or actually no, smith's check wisdom. Just something you would notice.
Check?
Smith's check wisdom.
So would this just be wisdom?
A smith's check using wisdom. You're proficient in smith's tools.
Smiths?
Smith's tools?
There's no smith's thing here.
For Artemis.
I do not have Smith's tools.
You do not?
No.
Okay, make a wisdom check. Just wisdom. Forgot, you do not have smith's tools. I thought you did. You have a lot of tools. You're with your thing. 21's still good. A few of these items have markings that have the almost a reminiscence of weapon making, of a weaponsmith who has just kind of changed bits of their craft to match with what is needed with more of the conventional smithing. But after a bit, you'll hear a shout from the back as a voice calls out, "Give me just a moment. Just need to finish
I got ya.
a few things."
I got ya. Take your
Good.
time. I'm gonna look around.
All right, don't touch anything.
Don't worry, I know where to put my hands.
There's a distinct 10-second pause in the tank. 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 And a moment later, you see this other person kind of poke their head around, peeking around, like, "What do you mean?" Definitely a different voice. This is not the same first person, but there's this like very assistant, like, wearing their apron, bits of like brushing out. There's like no sparks in their beard. Dwarven. Beard is very much wet down, and hair is slicked back. Very look like they drenched themselves in a bucket of water. What do you mean?
My pockets.
Hands in your pockets. Aye.
Ooh.
Don't worry about them keeping their hands to themselves. You have a funny turn of phrase. I'm coming. They just all of a sudden just run back just as they hear ting, 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 ting. It gets like this rapid fire pace before, after about a minute, you hear this. And
what are we hearing?
quenching.
I was gonna say the sound didn't come through, so
You heard a. Can you hear that?
yeah.
Of quenching.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know why. The microphone likes, oh no, that sound, no. And then other times like, yeah, no, that's fine. Fucking microphone.
Yeah.
You and that microphone.
It's a
You
great
hear
microphone.
Serenity
Oh,
very quietly say, "What an interesting little man."
and the man comes around and kind of like, welcome to Boaks. Motions behind him as another dwarf with more of like a bristles and short curls beard. Very much not the larger, more burly, masculine beards of dwarves, indicating that this might be a woman. As she kind of just brushes herself down, has a heavy, much heavier looking apron, thick, worn gloves that almost look to be belted to her arms, and as you actually look around, she actually unclasps them and pulls them off, and you actually see there's like little clasps to them, so they are actually latched together before she pulls them off, sets them down. I'm Boak. What troubles are ailing you? Got spokes need fixing, got bits of the cart, horseshoes.
Have wheels that need greasing.
Easy
What was
enough.
that accent?
You're picking up on me, lass. Keep up. I can sell you a bit, only by the flask. Can't sell you at any less than that.
All right, I'll take a flask.
Silver piece.
All right.
Not the
He
most
hands over the
lucrative,
silver
but
piece.
takes the silver piece, motions to the other guy who goes over, is like, kind of looks you all over, and kind of pauses at Serenity and Aurelius, kind of looks your weapons over, and it's just like, y'all traveling heavy or traveling light?
It depends on your definition of the word.
Armed.
Generally
Yeah?
speaking, yes.
Mm.
She says yes as a question.
Is it right if I take a look?
They're
That is-
traveling heavy. I wouldn't recommend touching them.
Then I'd
What?
like to take a look.
Am I that fat?
Heavy meaning armed and dangerous, lass.
No, she's looking at
Pulls her
Artemis
cloak
when she
more
says
over
Oh yeah,
that.
oh yeah, no, but Boak says that.
Lovely. You're not.
And I thought I was awkward.
She'll give the man her great sword.
The who?
The not man, fucking the.
The
I
dwarf?
forgot. I
Bo?
forgot the name,
who-
bro.
Whose name is in the chat.
Oh look, bro.
It's their Smithy.
Give the fucking great sword to Vogue. I'm dying.
I give it a
Oh,
look
Lord.
over. And they like hold it out with one arm, just like looking down the length of it. It's not bad. Seen shoddier craftsmanship. Guessing you got it made by human hands. Looks to be that craftsmanship. Folds aren't always the best, but this one's not bad. Probably straighten that out a bit more. Keen it a bit, but other than that, I'd say you have a good weapon. It'll serve you well.
Would you happen to have a long sword around?
Certainly. I've got a few in the back that I've been keeping just on hand. If you want one made, specifically to a specific tailored appearance, I can do that, but that'll take a bit of time.
I'm not too picky on the appearance. So long as it functions.
Good man.
Meanwhile, Artemis has pulled the cloak back over, and her arm is completely shown, and she's just carefully greasing it and moving her joints while they're talking.
That has Elizabeth's full attention.
Pretty will offer any help if she needs it.
It's completely obvious that Aurelius's attire is like, it doesn't look the best, but it served him well, so he's just kept it.
My baby.
They
It's like
will motion to their assistant, who will go into the back and will come out with a very, very plain, very like. When I say plain, though, I mean plain by a dwarf standards, which means that there's like a corners and edges to it that actually give it like a very sturdy, very like if you try and hit the guard, it is not going to move. It is very much a well-made, good to have sidearm.
Mm-hmm.
20 gold.
Sorry, how many?
20 gold.
20 gold. Fair enough. 20. Remove. And then I shall go to manage inventory and add item.
I said $10 on $10. 10 gold. Jesus Christ, I'm down of it. 10 gold on the counter.
Longsword.
What's the 10 gold for?
She'll nod to Aurelius. Half of the payment. She'll look fully at him. You're constantly offering assistance. I figured it couldn't hurt to offer some to you.
Very well. Aurelius isn't gonna deny it.
She'll smile and head back over to Artemis.
Smart man. You get real stubborn when you get challenged.
We'll count up the 20 gold. Slide you the longsword. If you're looking
Aurelius
for... Go ahead.
is gonna hold it in his hand. And he's going to, like, making sure that no one's within arm's reach of him as he does this.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna, like, swing the sword in the air.
Mm-hmm.
And he's listening for a whistle.
It's definitely a thicker sort of whistle than you're used to.
Yeah.
Dwarven craftsmanship and the like. But there's also, like, a bit more, like, almost like an after effect of it. When you get to a certain point where you get to a point where you're like, I'd hit this, and it's just like, like, okay, it's interesting.
Aurelius spins it and puts it to his side. I'm impressed. I thank you.
I do my best. Honestly, this is my better work than the commonalities, but we've not been in war for 20, 30 years now. Goodness, keeping track of all that is so easy for me, but everyone else seems to say that's a long time. I keep my wits sharp. Expect war at any moment, but again, it's a long time for some people.
It's only a
And a
blink
lot
of an eye.
A lot can happen in a short period of time. It's good
True.
to keep yourself on your toes.
Agreed.
I like you. You're smart.
I have my wits, I'll say that much. But I do not claim to be smart.
There's different layers of intelligence. Battle wit, I will always be fine to hear about, but if you're looking for potential upgrades to your current weaponry or repertoire, you can always come back to me later. I have a few more orders I need to finish up before... Oh, the sun's coming up. Well, that's far too early. Alright. We're finishing up more. I just woke up. You're waking up more. Come on. Motions to the...
Wouldn't argue with her.
I'm not. It's really early. I said, come. Yes. Just walk. He's definitely like an assistant when he was learning, but like he's an apprentice. Yeah. But he's definitely in the learning process, and clearly the learning curve is hard. Very grueling.
Aurelius, knowing what it's like to teach people, he kind of smiles at that, and he goes, he's gonna need to learn to get up early if he's going to be able to achieve anything in this field. Start early and late, or at least from my experience.
And always be doing something.
Come, let us be on way.
Do we
May
have
your
other
dreams be
places we need?
monumental.
Do we have other places we need to go?
This is just flexing her arm, moving it back and forth until it no longer squeaks. She's been doing this the entire time y'all were talking.
Also, Zark.
Just greasing her arm, making sure it's okay, then moving it.
No, Kendall, look at the chat.
I'm looking at it. Jesus fuck.
My decisions.
I can tell.
You opened a
Artemis-
gate for me, and now it's not gonna close.
Artemis just kind of waves her off and like, I've done. You've seen me do this a million times. It's fine. I can do this. It's fine.
Oh,
It's fine.
okay.
Back off.
Keep that in mind.
Even masters need help, but alright.
I mean, sometimes I need help, but it's not that part of the. It's not that part of the gear. I can reach the parts that are squeaky.
It's not that part of the year. Wait, what? Hang on.
Gear.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like there's a part of the joint in her back shoulder that she usually cannot reach.
Oh, okay.
We heard year.
I'm sorry, I can't speak.
Speaking is
Girl,
hard.
I'm fucking half deaf. I'm almost certain, so don't feel too bad when I mishear shit. This is a common occurrence for me.
Yeah, but you mishear it and it becomes more gay.
My pansexual ears can only half hear a straight sentence.
Oh, these gay polygons.
You only hear the gay half.
I'm sorry, I'm like this.
But
You don't
Artemis
have to
does-
apologize.
But Artemis does gently touch Serenity's wrist and is like, and just gently gives her a look of thanks for the offer. That she's been used to having to do this on her own for a while now.
She smiles brightly at her.
Fucking gay.
Yay!
Elizabeth just rolls her eyes and walks out of the smithy.
I can't handle it anymore.
Like, I am done. I am just gonna go outside.
Fair.
Aurelius is outside by this point too.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay.
So the other two who are flirting inside, the other two who walk outside, you will notice that one of the people who are like kind of more of the guard folk that you noticed before, Elizabeth, they're like going around. Like one of them is like motioning to the other two to kind of go like inspect various stands, and it's very much kind of like having like this like snapping their head to look around at all the other stands before snapping their head back around. The man who is doing so looks to be a red-haired human man with a very tangled beard. Not like he's unkempt, but it's like he tried to and that gave up when it just became worse in how it twisted. He's wearing scale mail armor with a flail at his side, and just every now and then he's like tries to like mess with his beard and just seems to get a bit worse, or he'll tangle his fingers into it, just kind of like his hand stuck for a second just before slowly untangling, just shaking his hand, snapping his head back around, just like one of the people with him is a woman who appears to have a copper hair, who is wearing chainmail with just a short sword at their side, as she is just talking to the local people, and they're seeming to have just very open, like, yeah, no, business is just starting up, whatnot. As the other guy is just like, again, just kind of snap his head back around, just like very just twitchy, very just confused for a second. Then seems to all of a sudden be like, I know exactly where I am. Very, professional, powerful looking, and then just scraggly rat man.
At
I
that,
am the professional rat man.
He's like very professional, and then just kind of like scratching at his beard, and then just.
Bro, does he got fleas?
It's tangled, and he's trying to untangle it, but he's making it worse.
Oh.
Like I said, he's got a tangled beard, and every time he tries to untangle it, it just gets worse.
Poor man.
Upon seeing those two, because it's kind of hard to miss them, Elizabeth will take off her hood, and you'll see her demeanor almost get more jovial, and try to blend in with everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
So, Aurelius, great sword, by the way.
This? Oh,
Yeah.
yes, it, I believe it'll prove useful.
I've seen your skills with the sword last night. I have no doubt.
Are we
You say
outside? We're not.
You
Are we
step
outside?
outside.
You're still flirting.
Artemis just kind of looks
The
around and is like,
minute-
where are we going again?
The minute that Serenity hears the phrase leave Elizabeth's mouth, her head snaps to look at the two with the single most surprised of what expression possible.
You'll see Elizabeth look over at Serenity, hold up a finger, and go, "Shut up."
Wait, what? Hold on, I'm confused.
Read the
What just
chat.
happened?
Read the chat.
I came out to fucking Elizabeth saying, I saw your skills with a sword last night. I can't.
And Serenity was
Okay.
like, "It's your dick in disguise."
That's why Elizabeth is like, "Shut it. Shut up."
Aurelius doesn't even recognize it. It just whoosh.
Artemis also is not totally paying attention to the conversation, but she's mostly just, where are we walking to?
I was waiting for you guys to finish whatever it is you guys were doing in there.
Oh, I was greasing my arm.
Serenity has
Totally
the-
normal sentence to say.
Just like
Yes,
sword
for
play at
someone
night.
that has an arm.
I have 2 arms. You don't see me greasing them up.
Well, that's why they're
Aurelia-
probably dry and cracked.
Aurelius looks at Serenity. Have you not fought during the night with a sword?
The smile gets worse.
Aurelius still doesn't get it.
Elizabeth is gonna have to turn away. She's laughing too hard.
What's the matter?
Oh, you poor, sweet, innocent child.
He just
Oh,
pats his
like a
fucking
nod.
shoulder.
She looks at Aurelius. They're talking about sex.
I see. Well, we should be on our way then.
Because, you know, a sword can be a euphemism.
We're
I
gonna walk.
understand that now.
We're gonna walk.
I-
Artemis.
And
Let's
Artemis is
walk.
about to go into a full-blown explanation.
And Elizabeth
Serenity
Elizabeth's like, "Let's go."
Serenity just puts her fucking face in her hands. You can hear her fucking laughing.
So what I'm hearing is Artemis is that, hi, it's me, Peter Griffin, and I'm here to explain the joke meme.
Pretty much.
So I guess
Yay.
we're walking towards wherever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, but she stops herself when she realizes that Serenity is laughing very hard. It's like, oh, that's inappropriate. Okay, I'll stop.
Bro, you can hear her snorting.
Aurelius didn't want to say anything because he's too polite, so he just.
Bro, she's laughing so fucking hard, dude. Her fucking nose hurts.
Aurelius goes to pat Artemis on the head, but hesitates, and he just puts his hand at his side, like.
Yeah, when he comes near her, she backs up a little bit and squints at him. Her head's still covered by a hood, but he could probably see her beady-eyed little stare on him.
At this point, Elizabeth has just walked away.
As
Sorry,
you're-
called Elizabeth.
as you all are getting ready to try and do that, the laughter and noise did catch some attention, and after some quick motioning and such, the woman will approach you all and just kind of this hand on the shoulder, just with this very just kind of this flat. Hello, welcome to Eber. Are you having a good time in our city?
The best so far.
Wonderful to hear. Was Boaks satisfying to your needs?
Indeed.
For what we went there for, yes.
Fantastic to hear. Would you say that you have gone to and looked at Targai's forge at all to compare and let us know which one you would say that we should put more of our efforts towards?
This was the first stop of our morning, actually.
If you have any inclination to look between the forges, we do ask that you do so, just so that we can have an idea whether or not your needs were fully met by coming to Boaks, or if Targais would succeed in fulfilling those better. It is just a matter of making sure that the competition stays fresh and alive. Fuck off! You just hear from the back room. I love you, Boak, but you know business is business, and I got 10 businesses that want you to fuck off!
Artemis just leans into Serenity like, is this a customer service survey?
She looks like lost. She doesn't. She just shakes her head and shrugs.
It's more of a, we are not run by a lot of the normal rules and stipulations that many other places are held to. We are run by the guild conglomerate, knowing what the customers want and knowing who we should put our efforts towards and making sure that they receive the majority of wares and the like, as well as the majority of our putting resources into, allows us to be able to do so with the more, how should I say it, desire to expand upon what they are already doing.
Just hearing the word guild makes her stiffen a little, and she stands up a little straighter. And she's like, okay.
Serenity will
Oh.
put her hand in the small of her back.
I don't like it either. It sounds like it's a waste of time, but Baichu is very insistent that I come over and make sure that you are made aware that if you have any complaints about Boak or their mannerisms, their wording, verbiage, or otherwise...
It's been a good service, thank you very much. Let's keep moving. And she just keeps walking abruptly.
I do apologize for my present company. We've had a wonderful time so far, and if any complaints come up, I will definitely make sure to let you know. Thank you so much.
That is appreciated. If you need any complaints to be put in, send them towards Batai. If you put them towards Dorhi, that's me, I will be upset, but I will understand.
I do apologize ahead of time. I am horrible with names. I will try to remember to send it to. Thank you again.
That's fine. Have a nice day.
And Elizabeth.
And you watch as they walk back over to the other guy, who's again just kind of like got their fingers in their beard before pulling him out with this look of just looks over, dignified. And they'll just kind of give like this, I did it. Are you happy? He nods rapidly and turns and starts walking away. And she kind of looks back to you with a shrug of just, I don't know. Or following after him. Almost as though they're going through a similar, what the hell's going on with my companions moment.
So he's following after Artie.
Elizabeth realizes that Artemis has walked away and hurries up to catch up the rear end.
Hold on, too fast.
Leaving
Very
Aurelia.
short. You can reach her very easily.
He's aware.
We've left Aurelius.
Yeah, I
Aurelius
was about to say, Aurelius is just standing there and he's watching the guy with the beard and he's just like, I should get him a comb at some point. Oh well. And he turns around and he realizes that no one's there and he's like,
Uh-oh.
I feel like Serenity's kind of hard to lose. She looks a little out of place to begin with.
Look for a black dot. You'll find Elizabeth.
do I need to like roll perception for this man? Like,
Is your...
Not that far away. Artemis is
Yeah.
just trying to get away from the people that were asking her questions that she didn't know the answer to.
okay. Alright. Yeah, alright, I'll just...
You see them? They're just, it's still early morning enough that there's not a lot of people to block your view,
Okay.
so you can
Alright.
kind of jog back over.
Yeah. Tell me when you guys are leaving.
We thought you would
Think we
follow.
He really needs a comb for his beard.
He needs
You know-
oil for his beard.
He needs a lot of
Beard.
things.
Well, oil?
For the beard.
Aurelius is confused. He's just like, beards don't need oil.
Uh, Actually, there are such things, beard oils.
Yeah, they make them soft.
Less
What?
whatever that was that he was dealing with.
It seemed like entanglement.
Oil helps
was-
lubricate, and lubrication helps untangle.
Is that
Serenity
why you
looks
put it in your
down.
arm?
I
Is
would
it-
not recommend this oil for hair.
Serenity just like puts her head down and just like covers her fucking face for a second.
You okay, Serenity?
You can see like her shoulders shaking. Oh, fine.
Also, I'm gonna just pull us up to Artemis, send that to you privately.
Oh my god, this is so silly.
I am 1,000% here for it.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Aurelius is just trying to be a good boy.
He is best
Good
boy.
He's succeeding. It's just he's surrounded by bad.
He's surrounded by all of these people.
it it's so
Oh,
much, but I love it.
I fucking adore this. This is fucking beautiful.
Give me just a moment. I have to use the restroom. I
Oh,
was good up until right now. So give me 1 second.
Probably a good idea for a
Alright.
bathroom break, anyways.
yeah.
So I will be back as well.
Take your time.
I'm also gonna go grab something to drink and my charger. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm already liking the battle brother mentality of Serenity and Aurelius. It's like not even like an established thing, and it's just like it's such a mood though. It's like, oh, this is a cool sword. Nice. Wait, or am I thinking of brain function, please?
They get along surprisingly well.
Yeah.
Like the mutual respect of, okay, so we're both warriors. We're both tired as fuck. And we're both just kind of following the smaller one around.
Like Aurelius was just kind of like roped into this. He was just kind of. He was just like, I'm traveling because this was where, the closest town after finishing my job, and I need a rest. Carriage goes off the rails.
You're forcefully adopted.
Pretty much.
For what all is in the city, just because it sounds like you guys are a little bit confused as to what to do next. As was mentioned, this is not a trade hub central, as that would be more of some place like Grand Standing. However, Amber is a place that does have a good amount of trade that does pass through it between Highwatch and Sayaski. Places that are high in a lot of like minerals and such like that. So this place does see a lot of traffic, as well as the fact that it is among the more plains type area. So there are a lot of other traders who will be from the nomad tribes who will come in, offer their wares as well. It will take just a bit more time in the day to have them set up and actually be able to do that, but eventually you will be able to, at your leisure, look around between different shops if there are things you are looking to look at or things that will catch your eye. However, for the most part, it's going to be things that you are going to just kind of effectively just be looking at and being like, oh, that's nice. I could come back for that later.
Yeah.
Question. How far away are we from the tower?
Do you ask around?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right. The question is, who do we ask? Because we're asking just like.
Most of the people, like the first person you ask,
yeah.
is just like, no thanks. No one do that. No. Anyone else maybe, but not me. I ain't getting involved in that stuff.
I would, thank you.
Appreciate it. Nah, yeah. The next person you speak with is a lot more cordial. Like that person just like went white as a sheet when you mentioned it. Just like the kind of the expression of someone who's
Thank
very
you.
superstitious, and you brought it up and just like, no. Now I gotta now I gotta go cleanse my room. No. But the next person you come to, they kind of give you this look of just like bewilderment before they're like, yeah, it's more towards the western edge of the city, but I mean, no one can get in there. It's like, I mean, don't get me wrong, there are people who have tried, the flying folks and such.
The flying folks.
Yeah, the winged folks, or people who have the ability to fly and whatnot. When they get within a certain distance of it, the people who tried to do it magically fell. And the people who were flying, when they didn't fall, they got a little closer, and then something inside the tower just started trying to turn them into a roast meal. And they decided they didn't want to do that anymore, and they weren't getting paid enough.
Understandable.
See, we're new to town and we've heard about it. I was just curious.
Oh, it's like one
thank
of
you.
You're seeing it like a sightseeing sort of thing. I mean, if you want to like draw it or something, trust me, there are people who go over there to draw it all the time because there's no foundation. It's gone. So, I mean, if you're doing something like that, it's
the
just
tower
upside
is
down.
floating.
Oh yeah, no foundation. Just like the first 30 feet of it is missing, and the rest of it's just in the air. Can't tell if it's was lifted off by the foundation or if part of it just vanished. I ain't questioning it. I just I sell China. You want to buy some China?
It's wonderful China, but it is not in my budget for the day.
Understandable.
I
It's
do
very well
apologize.
made. It's very expensive. It's for more the people who can afford to carry it from one place to another.
Yeah, I am not the person you would want anywhere near your China, so I'm going to leave. But thank you so much.
Much appreciated.
Was there anyone who flew and survived? Towards the tower, that is.
I mean, there was supposedly one person, but we ain't seen him. Like, they made it into the tower and never came out.
So there is a chance.
Chance, yeah. You gonna risk it?
Maybe.
I was just asking for sightseeing purposes. I was not aware of my companion's wants with the tower.
Ain't my
I am
business.
curious.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
May it
And
be
Elizabeth-
monumental.
Elizabeth is going to turn on her heels and, with purpose, start walking in the direction she was pointed.
Yeah.
I'm following
Same with
after Elizabeth.
Aurelius.
So start following, but she also has only a vague idea of what they're doing.
Aurelius, walking next to Elizabeth, asks, "How light are you?"
Why do
Oh
you
my God.
ask?
They said
I am
they
not
could
going to
be-
let you throw me. If that is the question, that is out of the question. I do not want to be burnt to a crisp.
Crisp.
I look
mind
smaller than I look smaller than I am. I do apologize for the abruptness in that, but let's just say I've had that happen before. Not burnt to a crisp, but I've been thrown before, and I'd rather not have that happen again.
Very well. Aurelius
So you're-
falls back into the party. Serenity, how light are you?
She kind of looks down at herself. Looks at her like she starts counting on her fingers.
She's not light.
167 pounds? Last I was weighed.
She's pure muscle.
I mean, hold on, let me check how much Aurelius just generally weighs.
Not
Alright,
Also,
Aurelius.
Serenity looks
Everything else.
Serenity looks at Elizabeth. So you say you have experience being thrown?
Yeah. Childhood, what friends do, I guess. I wouldn't call them friends, but I was the one that was being thrown.
So
You're the small one, huh?
I
Two
was.
things.
Yes.
Me too. I feel you.
So you're aerodynamic is what I'm hearing. But, second of all, those sound like awful people.
Yes, unless it is for strategic purposes, one should not be thrown.
There are reasons. Call them. That's just one of them.
Call them what? You cut out.
Oh, I was just saying, that's just one of the reasons I do not call them friends anymore. Shall we continue? And you'll see her turn very quickly away from Serenity to hide her face.
Artemis, how heavy are you?
You're not throwing me.
It was worth a shot.
I don't think you
Believe
can
me.
throw them before they get
Nobody's being
It's
charred to a crisp in this party.
Well, they said that someone who flies using magic may lose their flight, and someone who can fly may be charred. But they never mentioned someone who's jumping or being thrown. So I'm thinking
Maybe you should see if Serenity could throw you.
Yeah, why
Serenity,
are you asking us if we should be thrown?
I weigh 180 pounds.
Before or after armor?
Before armor.
Turning tilts her
Artemis.
head.
Underneath his armor, he has that like thin athletic build, like the like Robert Pattinson in the Batman kind of build. If that
Okay.
makes sense.
Oh, okay.
Where it looks slender, but there's definitely like muscle there. Like my actual build, if I actually worked out. That's not the point.
I feel
How
you.
dare you? You were adorable.
He just wants to be strong.
Anyway,
So we need to. We're gonna go. I need to go look at the tower. My curiosity has been piqued too many times about this tower. I understand the curiosity of getting inside, but I don't want any of us to fry doing so. And
Oh, with
Elizabeth
you.
just keeps walking. Will not
Aurelius,
make eye contact at all and just keeps walking.
If
Aurelius
Artemis
and
walks
Sword is...
faster.
Sorry, what were you saying?
Artemis just walks faster to catch up with her.
No, not you. The other one.
Paris.
If I may offer a suggestion,
Go on.
perhaps the trick is not flying in. It's there. The foundation is gone. Surely someone must have a way to enter, but it might not be by flying.
Are you suggesting portals?
It's something akin to that, yes.
Anything but portals.
Magic is a fickle and odd thing. Might be portals, there
looked
might
down
be a
upon.
door. I still don't understand that fully.
I just hate portals.
I wouldn't speak so loudly if I were you two.
Seriously, guys, we should just be tourists and see what we see in the daytime, and just go from there. That's all I'm wanting to do. No getting
Yeah,
inside, nothing like that. Just seeing what the whole thing's about.
I wonder
You
what
plan
kind
on-
of magic would be making it float.
And if you plan on talking about the magic and how to get inside, perhaps do it in private.
Not out in public. I know there's not that many people out this morning yet, but still, there are ears everywhere.
Nods her head.
Cut them off.
I don't think that's illegal.
Say that again?
You don't
Wait,
think
what?
cutting off ears is illegal?
No, she said I don't think that's illegal. Like a legal. Like a legal course of action.
No, you need to finish that because it sounded like you said illegal.
No.
That's not
She was
illegal? Alright, Deus Volts.
No, she was so shocked that she couldn't finish her sentence. Like, I don't think that's illegal.
Aurelius smiles and says, "Who said anything about legalities?"
I am not part of this group right now. I am not part of this group right now. I am not part of this group right now.
Speed walking away.
Artemis just stops, and turns, and stares at Aurelius.
What?
She's just gonna keep staring.
Just because I'm a paladin does not mean that.
You're a paladin?
I was a paladin. It's confusing. It's a long story.
Mouth kind of tightens, and then she backs up a little bit, and she keeps walking, but she makes sure to keep a good distance from Aurelius.
Sorry,
Wait,
stays
what?
near him.
Yeah, Elizabeth is power walking at this point. She's not even paying attention to the group.
Serenity stopped after like 5 feet.
Mm-hmm.
She's waiting for Artemis and Aurelius to catch up.
Too much attention's being drawn to you guys. Elizabeth is leaving.
Aurelius, now fueled by curiosity, and like he has so many questions. He's not speed walking. He's like making his way. He's so he's gone. He's
just
going.
like, look, I want to know about this tower, damn it.
Yeah, pretty much.
I want to know if I can throw someone into the tower without them burning alive. My curiosity must be sated.
If we take like a, even if it's a criminal, we can do it. Like, I want to see.
Aurelius, lower your voice, please.
He's not shouting.
But
I don't think
still.
he's actually saying that.
No, it's in his head.
He's not saying it.
That
He's just
wasn't canon. That's just
Okay, I
me.
was gonna say Elizabeth
thinking it
was gonna-
really, really hard.
He's just thinking it. It's like, it makes a lot of sense to him.
If he had said that out loud, Elizabeth would have gone mental. Just like, shut up!
As he
I
did.
love that. I'm loving enjoying playing a character who is not very versed in the way of the street folk. Like, and like keeping his
Understand
voice
these
down
youngins.
and, like, and things like he's used to being in like a paladin order where like everything's just spoken outwardly, and then it's like suddenly it's like, you can't say that. Huh?
Why
We need
not?
to be subtle. I have a great sword. How much more subtle can I be?
You're walking in with heavy armor, trying to stealth.
Click, click,
I
click,
have
click,
to-
click, click, click.
I
Why
am.
would you-
Clink,
Why
clink, here comes the tank.
clank, 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 clank.
Why would you ever ask me to stealth? That's not a great idea.
I
Yeah. Do not ask Aurelius to stealth. He can walk into the center of a room and be in a distraction, but he cannot stealth.
The TikTok when the paladin has to be the distraction instead of the bar.
Okay, so Artemis
Dinner
is
to
gonna catch up with You're gonna catch up with Serenity.
Mhm.
And she grabs her and she's like, he's a paladin.
You can feel her visibly stiffen. Visibly? Fucking. Alright, sure. Mix up those sentences. It's fine!
you feel her stiffen.
Interesting. Well, I'm certain he's not as bad as some of the ones we've come across.
Just be careful while he's around.
She looks at Aurelius. And she'll look back at
Aurel-
Artemis.
When you look back to Aurelius, Aurelius is distracted by a dog walking past.
It's a tiny little pupper who's just bouncing around. And there's a
Aurelius
little
is
kid
giving it a
who's
little
sleepily
scratch.
trying to let it out. You know, a little kid letting it out, just trying to run after it as it just takes off. You know, letting it out to use the restroom early in the morning. It just, comes over to you. It's like, you give it a little
Aurelius is
scratch.
giving it the twitches, yeah.
It does the thing where like grabs your hand with its little paws, like biting at your fingers, but it's like clank, 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 clank. Clearly can't do that, so just lick, 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 lick. It does the puppy little flail and just flops onto its back, kicking its legs, and then the little kid comes and picks it up and just like, sorry, mister.
It's quite alright, it's adorable.
He's gonna be big soon. Just you wait. Come on.
As are you.
I'm gonna be so big. Come on, come on. And the little bouncing along.
That's adorable.
Serenity looks back down at Artemis after watching that display. Something tells me he's a little bit more soft.
Everyone's nice to puppies.
But then shouldn't they be nice to you?
She looks utterly confused. Her whole face just pinching.
Just very lightly pats her head with her free arm.
What are you doing with your other arm?
Artemis has it.
Oh, right.
Goodness is holding on to it.
I was making sure. I was like, wait, what are you doing with the other arm?
I'm choking out a man. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Middle of the street? Really
This is why. This is why
I'm trying to take my
practically
purse.
ran away.
Oh, wow.
I am saying that you're sweet enough to be comparative to a puppy dog.
You're the only one that I'm sweet to.
She sits and thinks for a second, and you could actually see a. How's the best way to describe it? It's not a smile you see often. It's almost. It's less of the stage smile she always has and more genuine. I appreciate the sentiment. Even though
I think you're the more soft. I think you're the soft one here. She just grins a little and nudges her before they keep walking, but she's still keeping her distance from Aurelius.
You'll stay beside her.
Alright. So as you all continue onward, the one who will get there first and get the first chance to actually take a moment to look over this place will be Elizabeth. So Elizabeth, as you approach, like at first you can see the tower first. Easy enough. It is like in the air above a number of the buildings. Like, okay, cool. I got a course going west. Go through a number of those cities. And the city is not like grid format. It's like one of those where they like threw spaghetti at a wall and like, here, we figured out our roads.
Okay.
So they're kind of like twisting and turning every now and then. So you have to kind of like either cut through some places or just follow the road as you will. But eventually you are able to get to an area where there's a clear void of other houses around it. And as you just kind of step into this area, you look in and you can see just, as was said, about 35 feet of just emptiness. And then the tower looming above you. Probably a good 120 feet up, maybe, at the peak. I think it's a ways up there. And 35 feet of it is just air from the ground.
At that point, Elizabeth would very much stop in her tracks and just stare.
Yeah, no, it is. It's not uncommon to see floating places. There are floating islands, as I have mentioned before in the introduction. However, those are like higher up in some areas, and to a point that you need specific ways of getting to them. This is just in the middle of the city. Or not the middle, it's to the western edge of the city, but it is just there. Nothing that you can see is keeping it in the air, it's just there.
Artemis stops beside Elizabeth, looks up. I don't think any of us can be thrown into that.
That was not my thought process right now, but I very much agree.
You see Aurelius die.
I had such a good plan, and it's foiled by gravity.
There's enough power anyone could be.
That could work. You can see the gears turning in Artemis's head.
At that point, Elizabeth just face palms into her hands. Just like, are we still talking about this? I thought I got away from this.
A catapult in some way to break the fall. In case
You get one or the other, you don't get both.
And where's the subtlety in it all?
There is none.
Please. Serenity's smiling, Elizabeth.
Why do we need to be subtle? It's a giant floating tower.
Primarily
not
so we
exactly
don't draw
subtle,
attention
it's-
to ourselves.
We've already drawn
I don't
enough
care.
attention to ourselves.
We did bite a chicken yesterday.
Yes, I was there. I was the
promise-
one who killed it.
I promise you I could have made that situation a lot worse and you know it.
Well,
No, she's talking to Artemis. Artemis knows exactly what she means.
That's
Artemis just looks back at her and raises her brows. Oh, I know.
Aurelius is. Would I be able to roll an Arcana to see what could have a gauge of what could be holding it up?
Sure.
Can I give him advantage?
I'd say you can roll a separate one.
Okay.
This isn't something you discuss between each other. You're both trying to think about Arcana in your own different ways. Him with his more what he has seen amongst the clergy and his order, and you between your machinations and whatnot.
Is there a chance I could roll as well? Considering my background, maybe there's something.
I forgot what your background was.
I sent you the whole thing.
Not that part. The actual background.
Oh no, I mean like literally her backstory, not her background.
I'll allow it.
Now watch this one. What?
Go Serenity.
Look at us being smarty pantsers.
You're not supposed to be this smart.
You have a +2. Suck it up. So, between the three of you, each in your own minds, you're trying to process this. Zark, you've heard discussion between various clerics about what wizards might do to cause anomalies in the world. This feels very much like something to that effect. A wizardly, arcane anomaly. Which the other two of you definitely will be able to come to that conclusion as well. Kendall, something about this, as you're looking it over, seems odd. And it's partly due to your own abilities with the arcane casting that give you this insight. As you're looking it over, and you just kind of look around and realize that as every now and then when you turn your head, you swear that you can see a little bit more or less bricks.
My apologies.
Bless you, I think.
Yes.
Tell your doggo that she is still loved and adorable. So for you and Zark and Paris, something like a high-powered magic casting could do this, but Kendall, you're getting the impression there's something else going on.
Why did I think you were gonna say high-powered hose?
Casting. Paris.
Anyway, so Aurelius does vocalize his thought process. He goes, I am of the belief that this is definitely not celestial, abyssal, infernal magic. This is more arcane and outside my field of expertise.
Excellent, we're on the same page.
Artemis just goes, huh. It starts walking so that she's almost trying to circle the tower.
I was saying, like, if you're walking towards the fucking tower, Serenity would just pick you up. There's no preamble.
Well, she might be accidentally walking a little closer, but it's not on purpose. She's just trying to get a better view of what keeps appearing and disappearing out of the corner of her eye.
This is probably something Artemis is used to. There's just a hand on her shoulder just guiding her away from it while keeping her going in a circle.
Yeah,
It's
Artemis
like
doesn't
how you
comment on it.
navigate
She's used to being walked by Serenity, so she's just...
Yeah, it's interesting because you can see like the bottom floorboards looking up, But every now and then, as you're going around, like there's parts where you're like, there should just be like no bricks because it's gone. But as you go around, you'll see like bricks that come into view that you're like, was that there? And then when you try and go back, you're like, maybe it was there. But when you go back again, you have that same moment of, was that there? That's the same brick.
Aurelius?
Stops and pauses and starts fiddling with her hands, pulling at one of the clocks that she has on her chest. Probably the first time some of y'all have seen the clocks, because they're usually hidden by her cloak. That she's fiddling it with now and looking at I don't think it's floating.
You don't?
I'm sorry, I'm standing right underneath it.
You're not.
I'm not standing right underneath it.
Do you go to try and stand right underneath it?
Aurelius, well, I am gonna. I mean, he's not exactly the most self-preservative, so
you head towards the tower. Is what you're saying?
he's going to do it, but he's going to do it slowly.
Okay.
And like very much keeping an eye out for any changes that may occur when he does so. And in fact, he even pulls his shield out in front of him just in case something happens.
Gotcha.
You about to get your fucking vibes checked.
When you get about 120 feet out, I need you to make a strength save.
Strength?
Strength.
Okay.
Oh no!
No.
Only you feel this. No one else sees anything except for like the area around your feet, where a sudden gust of wind just swells up and pushes you back 30 feet. Just you kind of like get knocked on your ass, you kind of head over heels. Just you're kind of sitting there for a second. It's like, oh, as you realize that apparently whatever was defending it from the flying people is also defending it from people walking towards it.
You see Aurelius kind of chuckle as he's lying there, like.
It's an excellent
Interesting. He's like, it's like he's doing like the scientific method despite not having a scientific brain.
I'm gonna walk up to him. Artemis, try not to get closer, please.
Yes, I agree.
She's
This
not
is
trying to get
fascinating.
closer, but she is staring at the general spot where where she saw the bricks dipping in and out, just kind of pacing back and forth to watch them disappear and reappear again.
I'm about to fucking kill you, Kendall. I apologize in advance. Serenity will tap Artemis's shoulder.
Hmm?
Lamb, what are you thinking?
Oh, hold on a sec.
Holding.
Did you just
I think-
lamb?
Yeah.
She calls her Lamb. It's either Lamb or Little Lamb.
That's cute.
Artemis is unfazed.
Artemis is
My brain
unfazed.
needs a
Kendall is
reboot.
not.
Hold on a sec.
Artemis
She,
may be unfazed, but you're not.
Listen! Listen!
She was
Listening.
eating preparation.
I need a safe
Literally said,
word!
"I'm sorry."
The safe word is hedgehog.
Okay, Artemis just makes a gesture. She's like, I think the entrance is hidden. But she's kind of like swaying back and forth to watch it disappear and reappear. But I think there's a clip in the illusion.
A clip?
There are weak spots in spells at times, and you can see the spots sometimes.
I'll never
she's not-
understand magic.
I could be wrong. But I keep seeing bricks reappearing and disappearing. Where they were.
Did you say
and where they weren't.
bricks?
Yes.
Bricks.
Not just above. Now that you're actually getting another look at it, Kendall, you're also seeing some of them around where you would imagine the base should be.
And they're also at the bottom. So yes, I do not think this is floating.
May I show you something later?
Sure.
It's
Phrasing?
Question mark? Question mark?
That's not what.
No, it's not dirty. She just doesn't trust him too much.
That was totally out of character. That was so me. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
okay. Never mind. Yeah. Aurelius looks at Elizabeth and nods his head at her because she knows what he's talking about.
She's gonna
And-
eye him, kind of like almost having that look of trying to see if it's on him, but not trying to actively pursue that train of thought.
Mhm.
Serenity
Hmm?
Serenity kind of arches her eyebrow at the request. It's almost... It's a subconscious movement, but she kind of steps a little bit in front of Artemis.
Aurelius very purposefully gestures for the party to go somewhere a bit more secluded so he can show what he's got in his bag.
It's in the bag.
It's in the bag, Nebby.
Yeah, I'm gonna get you some candy.
Oh yes, just get in the van.
Just get in the van.
No. Hey, I lost my
so-
dog. Do you want me to help me find it? Just get in the back of this van.
I will send you to Jesus.
I will send you to tease.
So yeah, so he brings him a bit back. So the tower's still in sight, but so they're a bit more secluded, so that people
More towards
won't,
like an alleyway sort of area.
Yeah.
Like there's no markets that face towards the tower. There's still
Yeah.
people who like wander around. Like there's like a roundabout area to it to get to other places, but it's like clearly like there's unkept weeds and stuff towards the edge of the area.
Yeah.
Flowers growing around where the base of it would be and such. But yeah, you can again back away to more of an alleyway area. We're out of
First
sight.
thing I'm gonna do is roll perception to make sure that there's no one around.
Sure.
That as well.
Just as,
Yeah.
yeah.
Probably a good idea.
Good.
Perception.
Oh God, Aurelius.
You're
That's
certain.
distant.
You are certain of your safety at the moment. Thankfully, Serenity does a second look. At the moment, people seem to be trying to keep almost like a no eyes on each other as much as the tower. It's more like a keep your head down and move fast. I mean, this is a pretty good place to talk about this without people overlooking anything you're doing. At least for the
Okay.
moment.
So, what now? Aurelius like reaches slowly to make sure that it doesn't look like he's gonna pull a weapon on them or anything. Even though it's covered in weapons, so it's like
You have
I
a
like this-
weapon in your
Worried about
glove
that.
right now, and I would never know.
I mean,
gotta
look
pull
at
out a gun.
Aurelius. Aurelius is about to pull out like a flintlock from the 1700s.
Fucking shot.
Aurelius dies from spontaneous time loss.
Aurelius is transported to the distant future, the year 2000.
He is no longer alive because he aged. Anyways.
Yeah, he pulls out the brick and he shows it to Artemis. He doesn't hand it to her just yet, but because his instinct is kind of like he wants to chip a piece off of it and flick it towards the tower and see if it'll do anything.
You see Elizabeth almost subconsciously reach a hand out towards the brick, but stop halfway through, realizing that she can be seen and it is very obvious, and she pulls her hand back.
Again, passive insight 14.
Right
Do
now
I need to
you're-
do it?
Right now you are focused more on Artemis. I'm going to say
Oh,
that
yeah.
you can sense that
Yeah,
like there's like
true.
this moment with Elizabeth where you're like, I'm looking to get this information. I'll
Yeah.
check that
Don-
out later.
Can I ask you a question? Is there any reaction in the back of my head when I see the brick fully?
No.
Okay. So, did I end up rolling an Arcana when I first picked this up?
I think you did. You can roll another one. It's a new
Yeah,
day.
I'll do.
I'll say
yeah.
you and Artemis can both roll Arcana checks as you look this over.
Yeah. Oh,
Yes!
Hello!
Oh,
we are sexy.
Yes, we are!
So you're both looking this over. And as you're doing so, you note again the very strange, archaic runes on it. Runes on it, not ruins. Runes. And as you're going over it, you don't understand a lot of the verbology in it due to the fact of it being of a nature you're not familiar with. But Artemis, it has more of the arcane kind of languages to it. It's multi-woven, as a strange magic item might be, in a way that you don't know what exactly it does specifically. One of the things about it, though, is it seems to be giving off an aura, which is the strangest thing because it's a brick, and bricks are not alive to give off such auras normally. But both of you with your check can see that there's like that faint wisp of magic energy that is giving off this aura. You'd have to identify it in order to figure out anything further. But there's definitely something funky and
Fresh?
of an arcane opposite of fresh, actually.
Rotten.
You're definitely getting the opposite of a fresh feel from this.
But I'm not getting any, like, infernal or abyssal
Nothing of that
magic.
nature,
Yeah.
which is
alright.
what is kind of making you go, because you know what you sensed, but it's like, but why?
Which is
I'm just
why
reaching
he's
for the brick.
handing it.
You reach for the brick?
Yeah.
Okay.
Aurelius isn't going to pull his hand away as she does this. He's just going to hold his hand steady in case something happens.
She lifts it with both hands.
You feel a little
They're both of her
nauseous.
gloved hands.
You feel a little nauseous.
She puts it back in his hand.
Now I'm curious. So we need to hold her hand out to Aurelius, like asking for permission.
Are you sure?
As sure as the day is bright.
He
You had a
looks
very
up to
large
the sky. Is it a bright day today?
There's only a few clouds. No clouds blocking the sun at the moment.
So I'm 90% sure.
It's not as rainy as it was yesterday. It seems to have cleared up a bit, but it could rain again today if the storm front comes back through.
Yeah, so again, Aurelius like holds the brick out in his hand. By this point, I'd imagine he's gotten used to the sensation.
There's no sensation for you.
Not anymore.
No, there's never been a sensation for you. There's like that weird aura to it. You don't feel it. Like, it doesn't feel like it's
Oh.
affecting you. But when
Okay.
Artemis picked it up, she looked visibly nauseous.
Okay. Did I notice anything like that with Elizabeth as well? Or?
And you've noticed that she's been like, I want to touch it. But
Yeah,
besides that,
okay.
that's not something that you've had anything to judge that off of. Especially since
Okay.
you've now seen that someone else has had a more nauseated feel to it.
All right.
Do you let Serenity pick it up?
He's holding it in his hand in case, like, just in case something happens when she touches it.
When she touches
Touch
it,
it.
nothing seems to happen. She seems to. You will note the aura, Paris.
Mhm.
You note it. Kind of a sickly kind of aura. Do you try and take it? Hold it in your hand or
Try to sniff it, give it a little snooze.
So
lick it?
very
Like it.
slowly. No! Not licking the brick!
Lick the brick.
So very gently pick it up.
Delicious.
There, for you, Aurelius, because you're looking at her, there's a faint, like, sheen of red to her eyes for a moment. Serenity, you feel amazing. You feel great.
Do I recognize the red?
Similar to the undead from last night, but not nearly as,
Okay.
like, potently, like, still glowing. It's like, it happens for a moment and then immediately vanishes.
Okay. You might notice Aurelius tilt his hood. No, not tilt his hood. Tilt his head from under his hood.
You feel great, Serenity. You feel like a weight is currently just bundled up and set to the side. If you catch my meaning.
She's gonna tilt her head. Don!
Mm-hmm.
This is the weirdest fucking question.
You have many of them.
Okay, call out post.
That's me. Yes. Go on.
Have I ever been able to communicate with him?
Occasionally, but not like either
On
of you
purpose?
want to.
Oh, shite.
In her head, she will go, I can't tell if you like or dislike this.
You hear back a single word.
Egg.
Fascinating.
Ugh. So, she very visibly sneers before she hands the brick back to Aurelius.
Don't like it either.
She just shakes her head no.
I'm going to try something.
Is
If
it a
I,
bad- Throwing people.
no,
Are you throwing the brick?
not the entire brick. He pulls out his dagger. No, he actually uses his shield for this.
Mm-hmm.
And he puts the brick on the ground and he puts his right foot on top of it so it stays in place. And he just nudges his shield into it, hoping to knock a solid chip off it, so he can like still have the most of it, but is
Yeah,
able
no.
to use the chunk and throw it. You
I get
get
what
the
you
idea. Yeah.
So how do I do this for the proper amount of backlash? Roll me a strength check.
Amount of backlash.
Strength check or save?
Check.
All
It
right.
doesn't lash back at you. Not in that way, but you'll understand. 12. So you kind of like slam the edge of it into it, and you kind of get a of your shield vibrating, and when you pull it back, you see that the brick is not broken. It's not even chipped in the slightest.
I'd like
Huh.
to try something.
What would you like to try?
Artemis holds her hands out for the brick again.
Be careful.
Are you sure you want to
promises.
do this?
Yes.
Sure, this is a good idea.
No.
Excellent.
Okay. You pick it up.
Fair enough.
She takes the brick.
Still nauseous.
She starts walking. Starts walking toward the tower.
Artemis,
What? Oh my gosh.
Serenity is...
Aurelius puts his hand in front of Serenity and stops her from like
She walks
chasing
past
after her.
Elizabeth will duck underneath that hand and go running after Artemis.
Serenity grabs the back of Elizabeth's shirt.
Make a.
Ow!
I'd say that'd be a grapple check for you. So Serenity, make a athletics check, or no, Elizabeth, make an athletics acrobatics check to contest.
Athletics acrobat.
Oh, that might.
Your choice, essentially, between the two.
No way.
So Elizabeth, you are able to slip through.
Okay.
Can I roll for anything?
You're
You wanna try to
holding
stop me?
Serenity. You were holding
All right.
Serenity first, so I'm going to say that she gets out of your way before you can stop her. But Artemis has the lead and is speed walking towards it.
With the brick in her
With
hands.
brick in hands.
Luckily, Elizabeth has some height
Invisibly
on
awesome.
Artemis.
Right. Luckily, only gets you so far. Roll me a strength save, Elizabeth.
Oh shit.
Stop
You're
you.
proficient. So you're hit by a gust of wind and you just keep pushing through.
Mm-hmm.
And you keep pushing through and you're able to get like a decent way, but you're definitely slowed as you're just watching Artemis just like just kind of moving through. And then you get to a point where all of a sudden the wind seems to get more of a prickly sensation. I need you to make me a con save.
Shit.
You're proficient with
never
that
mind.
as well.
Yes, I am. I went. Wait a minute.
Okay,
Never
you're a
mind.
fighter. Okay, so might hurt a little more.
Okay.
Don't worry, it's just bits of ice.
Okay.
Oh,
Some
wait a minute.
ice.
Yes.
Do we see the ice?
Little bits of it, but actually no, you wouldn't. Not from your distance.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. 6 points of cold damage.
Okay.
Do you keep pressing on?
Yes.
Make another con save. You get another about 15 feet closer.
Can I see that Artemis is not nearly as like buffeted by things as
Buffeted
Elizabeth.
at all.
7 more cold damage. Artemis is basically at the base of the tower. Where that
Elizabeth? Artemis isn't hurting.
You can make one more con save
Elizabeth.
if you wish. If you're trying to
No.
push it through.
No, Elizabeth is going to stop at this point.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that a pain is going to get bad if she gets too much into this.
You about to get struck by lightning, boy.
No, I wish that was all it was.
Don't worry about it, Paris. Do you push forward or do you let the wind buffet you back? Because you will be thrown out.
I let the wind buffet me back.
Can I try and
Can
catch
I-
her?
Yeah, I was gonna say, can I try to catch her as well?
I'll say both of you. I'll say one of you can make an athletics check with advantage. Choose between.
Shall I?
Shotgun.
All right. I do have a +6.
So do I.
Oh, no, doesn't matter then. Cool. Glad we're on the
Both
same
strong as
page.
So both of you like hunker down and catch Elizabeth as she goes oof into you. Doesn't hurt too bad because you're able to kind of just back up just enough to keep her from hurting. Artemis, you were standing there, brick in hand, just like, whew. I made it.
Nice walk.
But as you get within 10 feet of it, it's like watching a ripple move across your vision, like peeling the air in front of you as you are now looking up at this tower. And several people who are like, who kind of glance back to you as you walk in, they just give you this look that's just like this look of just, hi.
What?
Hi. Were you invited?
She just gives them a look of utter confusion and holds up the brick she was holding.
Stay there.
Aurelius,
I think I'm... Go get the boss. What the heck? Go on, get... Stay. You stay there.
Huh? I gotta go get my
No,
friend.
no, you stay there.
Why? Why?
I don't know how you got here. We weren't told to be expecting anyone. We're not supposed to expect anyone until tonight.
What are you expecting people for?
If you don't know, you weren't invited, were you?
I have a brick.
That doesn't mean you were invited if you don't know what the brick's for.
It's you. What is going on with this tower?
It's hiding. What do you think it is?
She just squints. Edges a little closer. She is looking. Is she still nauseous from holding this brick?
Once you get to this area, no, not as much. You're still a little nauseous, but it's subdued substantially. How would you rate your disposition? Are you like very curious, like looking at the tower, or are you more like, what the fuck?
Curious than what the fuck, but also somewhat the fuck.
So somewhat confused, but more just very curious. And the guy just seems to like take a moment, and he like as one of the guys like about to head inside, he's like, hold on, dumbass, come back here.
Wait, has Artemis disappeared from sight for us?
Yes.
Oh shit.
Oh no.
Okay.
Serenity's
alright.
hyperventilating.
Look. You said you had other people that were invited to come in?
Me.
You said you had to go get other people. And they're bringing them in?
May I?
Just come back in immediately. I don't want to draw too many eyes. Again, the reason for it being supposed to be tonight is so we're not going to have people seeing you just run up to the place, you know?
Do I need more bricks?
If they all manage to put their hands on the same brick, it shouldn't be too hard. You got, what, 3 people? You, yourself,
Three
someone else?
more.
3 more people.
Three more people.
Just be if one of you carries the other one while holding on to it, it should be fine. I don't know how big y'all are. You look to be about a moderately sized young. Forgive me. Pronouns?
She, her?
Lady.
Yes.
I don't know who your companions are, but if they can all hold on to the brick, I would be very happy to talk to them. But again, make sure no one's looking when you just kind of saunter on in. Again,
Okay.
that's why you were supposed to do it tonight. That just go on. Have to.
She just starts skittering toward that away with the brick in hand, and goes back in the direction that she came. Toward.
Suddenly reappears into sight. At this point, Aurelius is lay on hands. Elizabeth, how much damage did you take?
How many points do you want to give to her?
Yeah, that's the bigger question here. I'm still in double digits if that helps any.
So
How much do you need?
Do you really want to know? Let's just say Elizabeth was stupid. We're just gonna put that out there.
Alright. How much does
I took
lay on
13,
hand?
so
Okay. How much does a lay on hands point do? Is it just like
5
straight up?
per
5
paladin
times your level.
and you can give as much as you need, but you don't get it back till a long rest.
1 point equals 1 HP.
Alright.
I might allow for some shenanigans that I mentioned with everyone else, but that would be something that we'd all have to discuss later.
Yeah.
Because I think that would actually make lay on hands feel like it could be a lot more interesting, but
I mean, I do also have cure wounds,
up to
which
you.
would probably be better. Yeah.
I'll take whatever you're offering.
I'll do cure wounds. So he just like places his hand on forehead, I guess.
Thank you for doing the
Yeah, so that does 8 healing.
I'll take it. Thank you very much, Aurelius.
So are so
You will,
approach them again.
What the hell
Welcome
happened to
back.
you?
Serenity snatches Artemis up into a hug.
Nothing happened. It was fun. There are people in there. So
Lamb, you vanished from my vision. That was not okay. Please tell me what you plan to do next time.
okay, well we're going to go back in there. All of us this time, but we all have to touch the brick.
Now?
No.
Yes.
Okay. Elizabeth is a little too happy about that.
Aurelius is just like disappeared from
idea.
sight, returned, like anything could have happened in that period of time for that individual. He doesn't know how long they've disappeared for. He's not questioning it too hard at the moment.
They disappeared for
He's-
like only the few minutes that they were gone for.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
Aurelius
I
is
know.
aware that yeah.
I know.
So-
He's just kind of like, okay, I guess.
Before she touches the brick, Serenity is very clearly like lifting Artemis's head, moving it back and forth, looking. She is looking her over completely to see if she's okay.
Thanks,
Full on
Mom.
mom move. Full on
Artemis is
mom move.
allowing. Artemis is allowing the fussing and just kind of wiggling a little bit. She's like,
Stop it.
we gotta go. We gotta go. But I think it'd be easier if you two carried us while holding on to the brick, so that we're not all just like quadricycling into there while holding onto a brick.
I can carry people.
You
Yes.
hear just very quietly Serenity and lifts Artemis.
Okay.
I will
How-
not throw you.
Please don't.
Fucking spikes her into the tower.
Yeet!
Yeet!
This bitch empty.
But
Oh,
No, I gave her HP.
yeah, you gave her 8 health.
Like
That's actually-
completely empty.
yeah.
All right, and you two hold the. I mean, Aurelius and Serenity hold the brick.
All of you
And
need to
walk-
touch it.
All of us need to touch it.
Yes. So you can like
If it's
carry
easy.
them, just holding it where the two of you can touch it is fine.
So we're
Okay.
all going to be touching the brick while we walk.
Okay.
While
If,
we go.
if it's easier, you can be on my back and hold onto the brick while we hold it like to our sides up. Yeah.
Yes, we can do that.
Okay.
So you all get prepared.
Let's get in the position.
Assume the position. You're
Proceed.
Did you guys
Like-
hear that? Did you guys hear the wind? That was rather loud. It sounded like a booming voice from the.
You're
Gods have spoken.
you're lucky at the moment. There seems to be no one around, so you have a good window to hustle your way in.
Okay.
Man, Elizabeth,
Then
Elizabeth and Aurelius, you're kind of like ready to get rebuffed again when you get to a certain point. No winds, no cold.
Just thought of something that amuses the hell out of me.
Hmm.
The barbarian, the tank, is the only one who didn't go to the damage dealing area.
I can be a tank. I'm a tank too. I just
Elizabeth isn't smart.
And then Artemis just went in on a hunch.
I have an idea. I did it. Wait, where am
And
I?
you're a spell tank. You're a tank. I'm using tank in physical sense.
Anyways,
I'm using tank in a respectable manner.
so you guys come inside and you, as soon as you all hit that area, Artemis, you've already seen it before. Everyone else just sees like, that peeling, pulling of the air, seeming to unveil it, like walking through a veil, and just having it pulled away and seeing the tower in front of you, and seeing that there's a lot of like torches and lights and stuff embedded into the side of it that are pulsing, not with a red fire, but with a blue glow pulsing around them. And at the base, you see a hobgoblin man, arms crossed, and you see another man like looking like really twitchy, takes a step over and watches the other hobgoblin, reaches over and grabs his back of his shirt, just like, I told you should be back. Sit! And just like yanks him like off his feet and throws him to the ground. And this guy just sits there like, ow!
Oh.
Sorry about that. He's a little antsy. Glad you made it back, miss. And friends, would you like to come over and take a seat?
Sure.
What is
Okay.
this place?
Well, it's the same place it always was.
The tower?
The Gadai Tower. Yes. It's just, Gadai is currently unspoken for, and he left a little bit of here and there and whatnot. And
What does him being single have to do with the tower?
What?
You said he's unspoken for.
Well, as far as I know, he's unspoken for. He's also unspoken for in the sense that he's not fucking here.
Oh!
That there's another terminology to unspoken for. Don't worry. Pronouns.
Yes, I am a he, him.
Gotcha. And you? Points to Elizabeth.
She, her.
And you? Points to Serenity.
She makes an motion with her hand.
They, them. Understood. Forgive me.
No, more just anything.
He, him,
Time
her,
of day
got it.
vibes.
Got it. So, forgive me.
I call them a friend. But sorry, Tom.
Friend is honestly really good things to have, honestly. Anyone who wants to can roll either a history or a nature check for this particular interaction.
I will go.
I'm not doing either.
You can.
I will go with history.
Sure, let's just see what happens, shall
Yeah. You're
Uh,
smart.
we? Yes, so smart.
I know nothing.
You currently know more than everyone except for Aurelius.
Oh, damn,
So
okay.
smart. Yes, no. Artemis, hobgoblins are completely foreign to you. This is completely new territory. You're just like, Serenity, about the same. You're kind of like, okay, being asked this question, that's a little odd. Elizabeth and Aurelius, both of you know that in hobgoblin culture, hobgoblins don't differentiate by gender. Goblinoids in the goblin language does not have a differentiating between man and woman. It just has, hey, you, effectively. As such, a lot of the times when a goblinoid, like a hobgoblin, speaks to a person, they either are just like, they don't call you he, her, him, or whatnot. They'll just be like, you. And they'll just refer to you as, just a person. But some of them who are clearly trying to be forward thinking in other ways realize that some people prefer being called, saying, hey, this lady over here. And so they will attempt to very immediately go pronouns so that they can know what to call you in the common tongue.
Yeah.
Because hobgoblins do not have that. Goblins do not have that. Bugbears do not have that. They just go, you.
Aurelius, being aware of this, will probably say, if it makes you more comfortable, you can call me as you wish.
I'm also used to whatever,
That's good.
honestly.
Promise anything you call me, I'll be more pleasant than what I'm used to.
Well, whatever. You want to have a seat?
Sure.
Yeah, come
Will
on.
I fit
Inside.
in the seats?
I mean, it's inside, so you're sure. You're not that big.
Artemis climbs
it-
down from Serenity's back and proceeds to take the brick and
Well,
continue.
that you assume that Artemis was on Serenity's back.
She was.
No, you were picked up.
You were
I
picked
bridal
up.
carried you.
All right, so she just kind of wiggles her way down and takes the brick.
Elizabeth is just still on Aurelius's.
Yeah. No, she gets down.
Save a horse, ride a cowboy.
Oh no. No.
Aurelius just looks over his shoulder and just goes, "Are you comfortable? Or do you want to get down?" I'm making that canon. He does ask that.
Well, I appreciate the how do I word this correctly so it doesn't sound wrong?
Ride.
Use that word. But for lack of other words, yes, thank you for the
You can say lift.
help into the tower.
Anytime.
You two could always thank me for figuring out how to get in here.
Comparison.
Aurelius holds his tongue.
Serenity very lightly bonks Artemis on the back of the head. No. You're supposed to come in here, don't be petty.
She just sticks her tongue out at her and keeps walking.
I would suggest you put your tongue back in your mouth, little lamb. And she leans close to her with a smirk.
Friends. Inside, please.
Of course, lead the way.
I've been leading the way. You guys have been flirting out here. Come on.
I am not flirting.
I
in
didn't say
Elizabeth
you
Furry's
were.
room.
Serenity
Motion
and keep
those
walking.
two.
Oh, Elizabeth is
Just
furry.
ignoring this conversation is walking inside, but at this point, just like kind of curiously looking around, like trying to figure out any other like arcane bollocks that's happening, like any insight he can gain into this area, just any history he can recall. He's just so curious. He's so excited, but he's not showing it.
He's
The
trying.
most
He's
you
trying
see
to keep.
from him-
He's using his training to keep himself dignified. Behind his hood, he's got a big grin of just oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Meanwhile, Artemis is actively looking around and extremely curious, and and the parts of her face that people can see, and the way she's expressing herself with her hands, very visible that she's excited and curious.
Oh yes. And as soon as you enter into the building, you get an immediate sense of hold up. Look back outside, look back inside, as the interior of this building is roomy. Like the tower looked to be maybe about 40 feet in diameter. Entering this building, it's about 10 times that. It is spacious. There's
Bigger
like
on the inside.
it is bigger on the inside.
It's bigger on
Come on,
the
Doctor
inside.
Who. Come on, Doctor Who.
Shit.
You guys can't see it, but Artemis and Zark are just freaking out, just like yes, 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 yes. They're excited, and I'm happy for that. But yes, like, there's also like several other
Arcana!
people.
Arcana check!
By all means, sure, you can Arcana check.
Oh, Took is in the audience.
Hey, Took,
Hey, Took.
Howdy.
you came in just as they entered the magic tower that is bigger on the inside than the outside.
Full on
TARDIS.
Doctor Who.
There's a lot more people here, though. There's maybe about at least a dozen people who seem to be doing various different tasks, ranging from one person's bandaging up one of the other people. There's a person who's very much just cooking like a huge pot of food. They're just like, needs more salt. Sprinkling on. There in one of the corners, you see this long-limbed, ears like above their eyes, tall, gangly-looking giantkin. Oh god, why do I always forget this at the worst times?
What did you forget?
The name of this entity, their race.
Is it a Goliath?
No, it's the other one. The one I always put into my world. You know the one, Paris.
Orc?
Is it an orc?
No, it's not an orc. I know the word orc.
Okay, so big entity. Always put in your
Goliath?
world.
Giantkin.
Bottom?
Oh,
You know what I mean.
fuck,
Yeah. I
Goliath?
I don't remember the world. It's homebrew, isn't it? Or,
No, no, it's
not
not.
homebrew,
It's
but
not
it's
homebrew.
rarer.
It's not that it's rarer, it's that it's not in a published 5e book yet.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I just can't remember the name. Shit.
1 second.
Jotnar.
Because they're literally related to giants, like full on.
Just like how Goliaths are related to giants.
Just can't remember the name.
Gilgamesh.
No. What are they? Where's my goddamn book?
In the direction of book.
I love revealing this, and I'm sorry. I'm gonna be
It's okay.
what is? Oh god, why is
While,
that?
while you're looking for that,
Yeah.
Aurelius is like just he's in awe of everything that's around him. It's like he's seen things like this before, but never to this. Well, he's read about them. He's
Yes.
read about
The clergy do
places
not have
that
places like this.
he's read about places that on the outside appear to be nothing more than like a trailer, like what's it called? Like a small trailer carriage on the road, and then you open it, and on the inside it's like this almost giant feast hall with like almost like Viking style on the inside. Like this particular legend he read when he was younger was really appealing to him. So on and so forth. And then he's like, there's no way that could actually be a thing.
And then it's
smash cut to he smash cut to now, and he's like, again, you can't quite see it on his person, but you see a little like his hands are like shifted, like his fingers are shifting a little bit on his side as he's walking around the room, just excitedly like looking at everything that's happening. Was that enough time for you to find?
Yes, it was.
Nature check.
Yes, if anyone wants to know, because these are not common. Artemis, roll that nature check with advantage.
It worked for me before. I'll try again.
Yeah, never be afraid to roll an intelligence thing.
Yeah,
Even
about the
with a
same.
+0. You can try Serenity, yeah. I didn't say you couldn't. That's for everyone.
Artemis is just looking around, and she pulls back the hood of her cape, and you'll finally see that what she really looks like. Her hair is cropped short. Her ears just slightly poke out from beneath her ears to show off her half-elf heritage. Sharp dark brow, thick dark brow, dark eyes, and there are and her upper lip, and there is tattooed black, with 2 lines dragging down her chin. She's just looking around, utterly fascinated.
Yes. Y'all are welcome to Insight Serenity when Artemis fully takes off her. Serenity and Aurelius, the gentleman in the back who is making like various. They seem to be making like various like arrows, from what you can tell. You are unaware. This is not someone you've crossed paths with before. Elizabeth and Artemis, you have actually heard of these entities. They are referred to as, I found it, is WhatTeamComp.
I wanted to say Void Cure, so I was close. Damn.
No, if you had said that, I might actually remember. WhatTeamComp. They are referred to as wood giants. They're not actual giants. They're related to giants in the way that a Goliath is related to giants. They're giant king, and they have that same stature above most folk, but they're really like gangly, much more like of a bow and arrow huntsman sort than the stronger, just break things down with a maul or such. And again, they have that kind of that weird. Their ears are actually like above their where their eyes would be, which is very interesting. But they look to be like just handing out like just like not handing out, but like taking in other stuff, like checking people's tools and such like that. Just kind of this area feels like a large scale workshop, and there's bits that are like using like campfires and such like that, but a lot of it looks to be using like these bricks instead of actual fire or such like that, or other tools. They're using like these bricks that are like carrying around from place to place for like illumination or for other stuff. And some of them are having like these coins that are like, they'll like click them together and they'll start glowing. And the place just is like just teeming with magic. And as you're taking all this in, your guide turns to you all and says, "Forgive me, I didn't introduce myself. I'm Yuhan. And you were invited, at least one of you were. I was able to figure that out while you were taking your moment to come back, but not that one person here believed me." Reaches over and kind of like smacks the other guy upside the head again. He's like, "Well, how should I believe it? She didn't know what was supposed to happen." And they're here. Would you all like a snack? Or as it's too early after morning? It's always time for a good time to sit down and have just a little light snack, right? We got a cracker.
I'm always ready to eat.
We have strips of cheese. If you like, we got hard-boiled eggs.
Oh, no eggs. No eggs.
No eggs. Yes, they will. They kind of like look between that, just with this look of just, There's a
It's a good source of
story.
protein.
There's
Why do you not like eggs?
there's
Can
a
I
story.
insight check?
Between who?
Artemis does not believe she was invited.
Make an insight check.
Them
yeah.
saying that she was invited makes her immediately not trust this. Whoops, I'm still on advantage.
No, 12 is fine. 12 is what the original roll would have been.
Yeah, okay.
You get the sense that he's not talking about you. He's saying someone was invited. He's not specifically stating you. It's just that you're all here.
Yeah.
Happy little accident.
Johan, you said your name was?
Yuahan.
Yuahan. Sorry, I have difficulty with names. Pronouns? Is what you asked?
Yes.
Yours?
Looks very befuddled, just like, what?
In his culture,
They don't have them.
Yeah, it's
Ah!
it's closer to a you there or a hey
Friend,
you.
family,
Yes.
name. That's why I'm giving you my name.
I would be happy to call you friend if you don't mind.
Certainly. What is your name? What are all your names?
Aurelius like kneels down and like almost bows, and he says,
Oh.
"I am Aurelius."
That's a first.
Not so, not so formal. Elizabeth just kind of nods her head and goes, "I'm Elizabeth."
Fair.
Not Aurelius being a bit extra.
I noticed.
So, Serenity very gently nudges Artemis with like her elbow to try and get her to say her name.
Artie.
Artie.
Serenity looks at Aurelius.
What?
Done.
Mm.
From my time, I've certainly learned the proper form. She takes a stance very similar to Aurelius, and kind of looks at him with a chuckle. Serenity, but Serene or Reen will be just fine.
Rena. Got it.
You
don't
know
know.
that Sorry, you know that telltale butterfly effect thing?
Uh-huh.
Aurelius will remember that.
Marvelous. He just kind of like nods between you all. He moves over, sits down, and there's like a platter. It's not just like just hard-boiled eggs. There's some hard-boiled eggs, but if you ask, they actually have some people who are eating like deviled eggs.
Deviled eggs.
They're just like
Aurelius, like, very obviously is like still
mm.
thinking about the chicken. He's like averting his gaze.
The chicken. We're never gonna forget the chicken. Oh,
Since
God,
it's-
chicken.
It's too soon. Chicken's too soon.
It was
Since
yesterday.
Since it's been long enough, Elizabeth is going to pull the bottle out of her pouch again and give it another try.
All right.
What is in that bottle, if I might ask?
Liquid. And she just takes a hearty drink from it before bottling.
Yeah, and suspicious answer.
Wrong pipe. I'm so sorry, everyone.
Whiskey!
Drinking out of that bottle. Serenity looks scared.
Liquid.
It's more that I don't want to share. More than
Artemis leans towards
anything.
Serenity. It's the blood of her enemies.
I have many.
The last thing she killed had no blood.
Maybe now we know why.
Elizabeth just goes cheers to that and takes another swig.
Serenity fucking snorts, dude.
There's also vegetable platters of like carrots and celery and broccoli and stuff with like an actual like an odd like a balsamic vinegar in olive oil dip.
Aurelius is keeping an eye out for any meat of any kind at the moment.
There are strips of like a sizzling bacon, but that's more the fresh stuff. There is also just like dried pulled pork and salted pork.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Grabs a
Like
handful
a-
of the carrots and
like
starts
a- like
walking
a
around while
jerky
she
or
nibbles on
like-
them.
Hey, come back, sit down. Sit. Come sit.
Uh,
You can look around later. You can look around later. You'll have time. It's not like you're going anywhere. Come on. Come
Is
sit.
this like a jerky kind of thing you're talking
Yeah.
about, or is this?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Aurelius is right on that.
So you get some jerky. He motions for you all to come sit
slowly
down.
walks back over to sit down. With her
In fact, what
carrots.
Aurelius does,
Mhm.
knowing how long jerky can like sustain someone for,
You pocket some.
he grabs some that he's going to have now, and then he grabs some and he puts some in like a little compartment.
Please tell me he just shoves them in his pockets.
Yeah.
Please tell me he just puts them in his pockets.
As you do that, there's like a goblin who suddenly peeks up from the edge of the table, like looking up at you. I see you grabbing some extra. Smart man. Slowly slides back down, reaches up, grabs some jerky, pulls it down, and you just don't see him under the table. Like if you peek under the table, he's under there, like eating one strip and like putting the others into like a pocket in his jacket, but just smart man.
Yeah.
We found the resident rat.
Aurelius nods his head at him, just kind of like he gets it.
Oh, Lord.
And he continues to like slowly nibble on this jerky because again it expands in your stomach and makes you feel more full than you actually are. And it's lovely. Is it spiced?
Yeah.
Hell yeah! It's spiced jerky. Let's go. Sorry,
You're fine.
Aurelius is just.
You're geeking out. I get it.
Loudly, wait. Okay.
Yep.
Artemis is loudly crunching on
Carrot.
her
Yeah.
carrots.
Yes.
Eat it.
And Yuhan just kind of like nods to you all. So, I see you gathered your team. Came a lot earlier than I expected, but you know, some things are made to be sped up.
It
So-
was an unexpected
No,
change of
fun.
events.
To each their own. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. The boss is going to be confused as hell, but it's not my hells to worry about.
Mm.
Should we come back later, or is?
You're already here.
Is-
And it's not
Looks
like
at
anyone can see
Elizabeth.
it.
You know this person?
Not me. Those that there's a job here.
Yeah. Remember yesterday when I was saying that there was work to be had?
Oh yeah. Was this before or after we fought a giant chicken?
Before.
Yeah,
You fought the
yeah.
giant chicken. I heard about that. Oh,
He did. He
I-
did. Elizabeth
heard-
points over to Aurelius.
I heard it was huge, and that you took its head off, used that head to start beating on other things. Oh man, it sounds wild.
Thrift looks mildly offended, considering she was like right beside him.
I mean, I don't know who did
Aurelius.
what, but you know.
Aurelius rubs the back of his head. Like he's not gonna deny the credit being given to him, but he's definitely not gonna boast either.
Who was the one who like was apparently like just a shadow?
Trinity points to Artemis.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
what?
You know what? That makes sense. That makes a lot more sense. That explains how you figured it out first. Smart girl.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
She's just still holding the brick.
The team
Break away,
is-
though.
When you picked up the brick that time, by the way, you felt better. Like, physically significantly better. Weirdly better.
As you can see, I made sure that the team had a multitude of skills.
So I can see. Diversity is key. Question is,
Looks back at Elizabeth, very confused.
I don't know if I have exactly a multitude of skills, but
I am talking about all of us in general not being one or another type. Never mind. Never mind.
No, I understand
Let's
what you're
talk
saying. I'm just not. She just me through her whole fucking being.
Aurelius is just kind of like looking, just kind of, multitude of skills, and he's looking around and he's like, yes, I suppose we do.
Mm-hmm.
I threw rock.
You apparently did something right. Got
They
the
were
job
very
done.
good rocks.
I would drink to
Fucking
that, but I
Moses,
don't
though.
have the time to drink in the day. Or at
Well,
night.
apparently Elizabeth has something to drink.
My bottle.
What is in it?
Aurelius just looks to Serenity. Leave it for another time.
I want to know.
I don't
Yes.
share.
I'm not asking for a drink.
She doesn't tend to like to share. Unless she's giving me bricks. That's
Just raises her hand, like, because she's trying. Because there's a lot of banter.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on?
Good
Here?
point. So, y'all will take a moment to calm yourselves. I will be happy to explain. No. So, you all have come in here not knowing exactly what you're all getting into, and that's perfectly fine. What's important is that if you do the job, you'll get paid. Depending on what we're able to get with it, perhaps a lot.
Mm-hmm.
We have been able to clear out a few levels of this tower. When he left, he said wards that would do various things. We've gone through a few of them. As you can see, this is just some of the loot we've managed to acquire. Can you imagine having a place where you can actually have a moment of peace and quiet, not being in an underground sewer tunnel, having to worry about what you're eating, but actually be able to sit down at an actual table, breathe in fresh air, having
Sounds
a
quite
good meal?
pleasant.
It's glorious.
I don't think I've been afforded that luxury for a while.
Well, you're here now, aren't you?
Yes, but with all due respect, as friendly as you are, it's usually the unknown people with friendly intentions who will... She gestures with her hand.
What kind of gesture?
Just like a sweep across at the food.
Who will be friendly and give you food to actually be able to make your way in the world?
Might attempt to poison me. Now, I do not believe you would do so. But you can
when you
understand
say
my
that,
coffee.
he makes like a, well, you know, that makes sense. He doesn't deny, just like a, well, I mean.
Aurelius, like, just continues to eat and drink,
Do you
being
know,
immune to these things.
not to poison,
Anything it just makes Artemis eat her carrots a little faster.
not to poison, just to disease.
Right. Foolishness, Dante, foolishness.
But he's just like, I mean, do you know how hard it would be for us to actually filter out all the different things we have to choose, what we poison, what we don't?
Oh, but that's because I do not know the nuances of poisoning.
Obviously.
I prefer some more transparency.
We want you to go up in the tower, and if you find anything interesting, we'll pay you handsomely.
Is there
very
anything in particular you're looking for?
We don't know what's up there. Again, there are wards and things to try and keep people from exploring upwards. And I mean, we figure we could probably get maybe another like floor or two on our own, but having someone who might be able to be more adept at thinking in ways that we haven't thought of yet, to make sure we don't accidentally kind of motions behind himself. You can see that person who is bandaging the other person. You realize that that other person was likely injured by some trap or the like.
So, if that's
Try
the
and-
case,
If you would like, I could try and heal your wound. I don't know how well it would go.
You're not next to him. You're not next to the guy getting
Right.
healed. He's over there. He's over at a different area.
Oh, okay. I thought he was just like
He's not right
nearby.
next to you. No, he's not right. Again, this is an open area for you to just kind of look around and see stuff at. So the person who's getting bandaged up and whatnot is not right next to you.
She can still call out to him. She sees him being bandaged.
Hey, relax. He's had worse.
Artemis tilts her
Alright.
head up. So you weren't the one that put the wards around the bottom floor of this building.
No. We don't know half of what this stuff does. We just know it works.
She holds up the brick. How long did it take for you to figure out that you could send these out to allow people in?
Send them out. When one of us was able to brute force our way in and was able to bring one out and come back in, I suppose.
And how did you manage to get the brick off?
Oh no, that was one of the findings we had. It was in this room. There's like a couple of them, but not many.
Or they just loose?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well,
looks
it's
like
less that they were loose and more that they were on tables.
She
While
stares at Aurelius.
while I'm sitting here,
Mhm.
I'm gonna quickly do a divine sense,
Okay.
just to see if there's like if I can, like above me. That's mostly where I'm thinking.
Right.
But
I'll check your DMs.
I will
But
check in a
y-
moment.
just generally speaking. So I'll do that. So Aurelius kind of like leans back in his chair and looks up, and he like places his right hand over his left his left shoulder collarbone kind of area, and you almost see him like clench for a second before like calming himself a bit and acting as if he's continuing to eat, as if he didn't really do anything. It was just kind of like a shiver or something.
Paris, what do you mean check my DMs? You didn't send me anything.
Didn't say, you bastard.
Also, you wouldn't be able to sense anything in the floors above you because that would be technically behind total cover.
Okay.
But in this room,
All right.
60 feet, there's at least 2 other pings of undead, one of which being right in front of you with Yuahan.
Okay.
There we go.
So Aurelius is he won't say anything. He'll just sit up, his arms like elbows on the table, continuing to eat the thing and just like looking at Yuhan, trying to gauge what, like, if they're hiding anything or if like why that he's trying to figure out why he felt that pulse from him. Like, is he undead or does he just simply have another brick on him? That's what he's trying to figure out.
I mean, you wouldn't be able to figure that out with an insight check.
Okay.
That's not going to fix that. Welcome back.
So
Yeah.
wait, did you say roll inside?
I
or?
said no. That would not be something you would
Alright.
pick up with an insight check. But you know that he is one of the people who has the undead feel on a table about 55 feet away. There is just sitting on the table a brick. That's
Okay.
pulsing with that undead feel. And, of course, the one that Artemis is holding. That makes 3.
All right. So, all right. So at this point, just like gauging what's in the room, he's just going to assume he has a brick on him. Hmm. So, what happened to him so that we may avoid what happened to him once we go up there? Do you have any idea? Like, pointing to the guy who's been injured.
It's... One second here. This place is meant to ward out people of our innate capacity, as it were. More quiet folk than others. Some people who are better at head-on confrontation might not be bad, but there are other ways, I imagine, to get around some of these wards and nuances that might be better suited by people of perhaps your like. I wouldn't say that
Some
this is...
kind of
Hmm?
some kind of form of disenchantment, perhaps.
Perhaps, but there are parts to this that I'm not sure if they're disenchantment or if it's more a matter of don't get hit by the thing that doesn't want you there. Moving objects, as it were.
Right.
Items that
Aurelius.
stab at you or slap at you,
Yeah.
whatever it may be.
Aurelius is again looking to the tower above him, and he looks to the rest of the party. And he goes, "Any further questions, or shall we ascend?"
What my... He probably asked this, but are there outside of spells? Will there be anything else we will be facing up there that could be potentially harmful?
I mean, potentially there's normal hunter-style traps. Sorry, I was stumbling over my words there a little bit. I'm talking non-stop with these cahoots behind me, and it's nice to have a change of pace for people who seem to actually be able to understand the words that I'm actually saying. Tripwires, ropes and the like. I imagine it was set up after the fact, but they seem to get more complicated the higher up it goes. Almost like they took the time to make it really hard to get to the higher up stuff, which just means that there's probably better loot up there.
Or something they don't want to get out.
Very possible. I'd at the very least like
There's
to
only
be...
one way to find out.
Exactly. I want to be in the know. You get me?
As do I. This place is a curiosity to me.
Curiosity.
Serenity's kind of shuffling from one foot to the other.
Sitting? Aren't they sitting?
Yes.
She never sat!
No.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
That makes more sense.
Artemis looks up at Serenity, just mildly unsure, because then she looks back. And do you know if these traps are angled for people to keep out or to keep in?
Well, based off the nature of one of the traps being walking towards the inner parts of the room and the trap being sprung at that point, I would imagine it's to keep people out. I haven't seen too many things that are trying to keep something in.
It could be a mixture of both, stopping people from going in and getting out.
If they're trying to stop
But-
something from getting out, I haven't seen any that are matched up with that just yet.
She just looks
Probably
around.
higher up.
Maybe.
Artemis looks up at the tower above them and she's like, this wouldn't be the strangest prison I've seen.
Regardless, whether it's keeping something out or something in, I believe it is time we investigate. And Aurelius stands up.
Before we do... I keep trying to call him Johan. What the fuck is his name?
Johan. It's in the
Johan.
chat.
Johan. No, I know, but I keep thinking it's Johan. I don't know why.
Johan.
Johan,
You
is
can call
there
him Johan.
is there perchance a private place I may speak to my group, so that we can plan something?
Plan your ascent. Plan.
Plan how we want to go about. She gestures up with her finger.
I mean, the base of the stairs. There's a table with like a board of what we've been able to figure out and whatnot, or at the very least notes and such. It's not cohesive. The last people who tried to write the notes of it and try to put anything together just kind of they wrote it all in Goblinoid, and it doesn't translate super well to making it easier to understand in Common. I'm really sorry about that.
No, you're fine.
So,
he
he slowly looks, and the goblin who like is under the table like looks like, huh? Sticks out his tongue, just like, mine.
What kind of goblinoid?
Goblinoid.
It's a language.
I'm asking because she's fluent in Dwarvish and Gnomish.
You might be able to at least get some of the letters because of the fact that Dwarvish letters, I believe, are used in a number of different languages, and I think Goblin might be one of them.
It wouldn't be deep speech, I'd imagine.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Is there anywhere that might be a bit quieter than this room? I have issues concentrating when it's too loud.
Yeah, the script that Goblins use is based off of Dwarvish, so you'd have at least some ability to kind of make some of the words out, but not all of them. It'd be like
Old Norse into current Norse.
right, well,
Or like Latin into Italian.
yeah, that might work a little better.
Oh. Did you hear my question, Don? I don't know if I can.
Question.
She asked, do you have anywhere quieter than this room? I can't quite
That's
think
where he
fully
pointed.
Okay, I didn't know if you just pointed to a...
No, he said, at the base of the stairs, there's a table off to the side. If you and your group want to go over there, because no one's currently planning to go up at the moment. It's a little bit... It's got papers if you want to look through it, but it's in Goblinoid. It's not the best translated stuff, but it might have something if you're looking for a little bit of extra what has been seen in the upper floors.
I need to roll for how much she's able to translate, or can she just start trying to puzzle it out?
Are you proficient with calligrapher's tools?
Not me checking my proficiencies. No.
No.
Make an intelligence check. There's a lot that you don't get, but you're able to get basic gists of what is intended with a number of it.
Nah, artist.
Serenity. Excuse me.
Aurelius isn't even gonna try read that.
Yeah. Effectively, it's talking about different like floor tiles and even ceiling tiles that have been replaced. Ropes that have been moved around in ways that they shouldn't have, etc., so on and so forth. But yes, you are able to go to the corner. None of them stop you. If you like, give you like little like, hey, what's up? I heard you're coming. Just casual greetings as you head to the table in the corner.
Okay.
What languages do you speak again, Artemis?
I speak Elven, Common, Dwarvish, Gnomish, and another one that I can't quite remember the name of, but it sounds a little bit like music.
Sylvan?
Yeah, that one.
Okay. I'm like, it's either Sylvan or Celestial.
I speak Abyssal, the Common Tongue, Deep Speech, and Infernal, if that's of any help to us.
Starting to look at Artemis and in common, but very quietly go, if we're going to go into some place that has such a danger, they should at least know something.
What do I need to know?
She has her back to Elizabeth and Aurelius, and she kind of opens her mouth and shows the sharper than normal teeth that she has. Before she closes her mouth. he's going to want to come out. Even more so if I get hurt.
How much control do you feel right now?
How much, Don?
Roll an insight check. But add your charisma modifier.
Uh, 19 in that case.
You're confident.
Not a lot, so long as I don't. There's nothing can force him out of me.
You don't have to come if you don't want to, but if you do, I can heal you while we are going up. If that will help.
She smiles and nods.
While they're talking, Aurelius and like goes to Elizabeth and basically asks, "Do you know anything about trap making of any kind, or how to disarm them?"
Honestly, it was not my area of expertise growing up.
It was worth a shot.
I do appreciate you asking, but this is a little more than I thought I was getting us into.
It's quite alright.
Is he gonna ask the others?
He notices that you guys are talking and he doesn't want to interrupt you guys. Being polite.
Artemis reaches over and squeezes Serenity's hand, rubbing her thumb across her knuckles. We'll be okay. I'll make sure that you're okay. And then she lets go and goes back to translating.
I would still like to at least tell them what you know.
If you are comfortable with that.
She nods. And she'll turn back to Aurelius and Elizabeth.
Serenity, do you happen to know anything in terms of trap making or anything of the sort so that we may be able to disarm some of them as we walk? Better to avoid entirely rather than walk straight into, which I can do and I'm willing to do, but I'd rather not.
Unfortunately, I do not. I don't know if Artemis does, though. Auntie!
She looks up for a minute. What?
Do you know anything about traps, love?
Yes.
She looks at Aurelius. There you go.
Would you know how to disarm them, arcane and otherwise?
It's on the trap.
Fair enough. Then we already have one advantage. What other variables do we need to look out for?
That was actually something I wanted to bring up to you two.
Okay.
It is very unlikely, but, she looks at Aurelius, and she will say in Abyssal, there is another entity in my mind.
Aurelius, his eyes narrow for a second, in thought more than anything else, and he just nods understandingly. So long as they do not cause any problems and you are confident within your own ability, then we shouldn't have any issues. But if something does come out and you need me to do anything, it's best you tell me now rather than later.
So, look at Elizabeth, because I'm assuming Elizabeth does not speak Abyssal.
No, she is very lost right now and probably has her head tilted to the side in pure confusion.
It
Tell the paladin first.
to Elizabeth, it just kind of sounds like
Yeah, and Elizabeth just has that face
Like
of pure
Klingon.
confusion, like, this is helping me at the moment.
So I guess
There's-
this is something we're going to.
Artemis looks over like, my love, you're speaking a language only one other speaks.
It's also really funny because the way Aurelius is speaking in Abyssal, it sounds like he's like he has. It almost sounds fluent. Like it sounds
Hers-
like he's a native to the Abyss.
Hers
That's
does sound
very
fluent. She just kind of tilts her head. And then she processes Artemis, but she kind of looks over at Artemis, seems like she's going to say something before she goes, like, I share my mind with something or someone. And depending upon how harmed I become, they might come out. Now, I have confidence that I can keep him in my mind, but I wish to give warning on the off chance that he should come out and go for someone other than the enemy.
If that happens, I am willing to. He kind of chuckles, and he goes, for a lack of better words, be our shield.
I do appreciate being put into the loop, and I will make sure to. I'm not sure I can really help in this situation, but thank you.
If you can
For
knock
the
me
heads
out, it typically
Oh
makes
well,
performance again?
if that is what is needed, I can do.
She smiles.
Casually.
My training is more so to kill than disarm, but I have been trained in those arts. Recalling those may be difficult, but all it would take is for me not to use any gestures to his swords.
Now, one more thing. She turns to Artemis. What did you just call me?
Oh.
She, like, puts up a finger, shakes the finger, like, just like, that's what I thought. And she will move to the stairs and just kind of sit there for a second.
Glory.
I've been misinterpreting. They've just been so brazen with their affection. I'm just assuming that they are an established couple by now.
No.
No, they're just flirty.
Rudy's just comfortable.
Aurelius isn't gonna pry.
Telling
It's
her
not
what
his
to
business.
do with her tongue.
Yeah, this is the funny part. She didn't mean that dirty.
Oh, glory.
I told you this
Oh,
misinterpretation was gonna happen.
Yeah, well, Artemis is not entirely. Artemis just goes back to translating.
I still,
Okay.
I just like the image that it's like a slip of the tongue and Artemis hasn't processed it yet.
Yeah, she's thinking about it, but it's more in the back of her mind while she is translating.
Aurelius actually does walk up next to Artemis and he asks, have you found anything that may be helpful to us?
Some things about ceiling tiles, rope, and bricks and flooring, I do believe.
Bricks could come flying towards us. I'll have
And the
shield at
way-
the ready.
And the way some things are moving should not be moving.
Again, shield if it's a projectile or anything else for me. I should probably lead in that case.
We should likely keep an eye out for trap triggers or
Yes.
platings.
By chance, could you see in the dark, in case that becomes a variable?
Yes, I can see in the dark.
Good, good. I cannot.
Oh,
Sounded so upset.
I can to an extent.
I will need you lot to be my eyes, if that's the case.
You could always keep your hand on my shoulder. If you would like.
If that is a valid option. But again, my shield needs room in order to move quickly in case of...
Danger?
Oh, it's hitting Artemis what she said.
There it
Stops writing and stares at the table for a minute, and she's like,
You know that Lisa Simpson meme where she's just staring down with like that fucking panic smile? Yeah.
Oh
looking back
no.
at Serenity like, I'm sorry. That slipped out.
If it makes you feel any better, I took no offense.
I didn't imagine you would. I just didn't mean for it to come out.
Let's make... If there's nothing else for us... If there's nothing else for us to discuss, shall we commence forth?
Well,
Serenity nods her head.
there is a little something. It's minor, really. And Aurelius, I do appreciate you trying to help heal me after I chased after Artemis. I still have just a little bit of pain from that.
Artemis makes a gesture for Elizabeth to come closer. Here.
She
Yeah.
kind of just walks over awkwardly, like I hate asking.
While
here.
that's
Closer.
happening, I'm gonna do lay on hands on myself to get my 5 HP back from the slap.
Fair.
Woo!
Well, thank you.
I would say save your spells, Artemis, but I think you've already done it.
Thank you very much, Artemis. I am ready to go now.
Serenity will walk up to Artemis.
Hmm?
She'll just put her hand on her head. You're a good person.
Shall we take a short rest to compose ourselves before we walk in?
I like
don't
that
think that-
idea.
I don't think that's a bad idea.
Okay.
There are many people who will disagree with you, Serenity.
Yes, well, they're not the ones whose opinions I care about.
I imagine those opinions on are a rather short list at this time.
So far, there's only one.
Would you two prefer if Aurelius and I went over there?
Why?
Privacy.
Why would
You
you need
Need
privacy?
privacy.
They're so dense. I
The fact that we
love
said
them.
it at the same time is
They're
what
so
fucking made it perfect.
dense and it's perfect.
Aurelius just looks to Elizabeth and just asks, do you have any cards or like games we can play while we wait on these two?"
I actually have a deck of cards.
He was gonna say deck of many things. I'm like, put it away!
I've
I would
given
never.
them a deck of many things. Draw.
Alright.
You know how he said we could take a magical item with us? I just talked him into letting me have the deck of many things.
Alright.
He only has one card with a
so-
void. Roll a new character.
So are we
Just brushes
taking a
Serenity's
short
hand
rest
off of her
just
hair
to confirm with the
runs
party?
her fingers through their
Yeah, I
Yeah, I
think
guess
so.
Alright.
I think we're taking a short rest.
Alright.
Very well.
So you guys will get a chance to sit down. If you want to ask for food, there's food. If you want to just find a spot to just lay back, you can. If you want to just like check yourself, make sure all your items are in place as you want, you can. If you want to fiddle with anything, by all means. Is there anything you want to do during the short rest?
Aurelius and Elizabeth, I imagine, are playing cards, and I also imagine some of the hobgoblins are playing with them.
Like you start playing cards, and when like one of the goblin just like suddenly comes over, just like eating the jerky, watches it for a moment, nods, is like, "Deal me in."
Honestly, Serenity will be playing with you guys.
So you have a
Oh,
goblin, Serenity, Aurelius, Elizabeth, and Johan would,
Artemis-
but he's got to take care of stuff. The Void King.
Artemis is working on translations.
Fair.
He wants
Well,
to
then-
make it a little more clearer.
Fair.
Well,
Should I roll for my performance in the game? Because Aurelius hasn't played this since like his time in the Vigilance.
I want to say no. You
Okay.
can just you can. How do you feel he would be? Do you think he'd be like, "How am I losing?" Or do you think he'd be like, "Man, I've never been this lucky before"?
It's like he's rusty, but he's still got the he's still got his like lucky hands, for lack of better words. He's doing above average, but he's not doing exceedingly well either.
Fair. All right, and with the short rest and the fact that we are 3 hours in, I'd say this would be a good place to end the episode with you guys getting ready to go upstairs and see what you're looking at and see what you'll get paid for.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good session, man. Good session. Good session. Love it.
This shit was needlessly funny to me at the same time. Why would we need privacy?
Both of you just like,
Why?
both of you, we're flirting. Man, they're flirting. Are we flirting?
Or is it something more?
Is Artemis gay?
Does this Artemis this kid?
The rumor come out. Does Artemis is gay?
Does his yay?
Find out
Yes.
more at 11. But yes, that was a good session. I enjoyed that thoroughly.
It was fun.
Yes, you guys are a delight as per usual. And it's
We're
nice.
so dumb.
You guys
so
are
dumb.
so fucking dumb, and I love you guys. God, you're so dumb, and I love you.
I'm really happy that Artemis figured the thing out, though.
I honestly,
Like I was thinking about that, but that's why I wanted to like cut off a piece and like throw it to see if it would be pushed back.
it's enchanted.
And then Artemis was just like, nah,
Take the whole thing.
walk in, zero fucks given.
Out of character, you guys were going to have been told that in the evening. But you guys just were like, "No, we're doing this now," and I'm like, "I'm not stopping you." Artemis is like, "I got this." I'm like, "Go, little rock star." There she goes.
Goat in the pop's car.
Artemis just giving everyone a small heart attack when she just goes ahead and does that without warning.
Walks forward and just bloop, just disappears. Everyone's just like, "Okay, we'll put this. We'll go." Ah.
By the way, I'm loving the party relationship so far.
It's it's interesting how it's a weird, but like warming up more and more the more there's arcane stuff involved. I did not realize just how much you were going to have Aurelius be like, "Oh, no, I'm interested in this." I'm like, "Oh, I was going to have this anyway, but this actually means, yay, more fun."
Well, put it this way. While Aurelius was intelligent, he wasn't the most intelligent person in his order.
And we'll get to find
And
out more
he
about
was-
that later. Yes, later.
Yeah, and
Let's just stop the
basically,
recording.
Save it for when we're not live.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
We'll talk more about it after
And-
he goes off stream.
And when I'm stopped
Yeah,
recording, which I was about to
Yes.
do because I realized I didn't actually stop that because I was, saying I love you guys because I love you guys, and I love all you guys who are watching and viewing this. I'm going to be posting this on YouTube. Hopefully, I'll remember to do this next Monday, not next whenever I posted it because that was weird.
you can just
And-
schedule the upload, dude.
I know. It's just I didn't think about that when I did it because my brain went brrr.
She
Bring
demands
up-
immediate satisfaction.
Yes, but I will be posting it. Unfortunately, it's not / WhatTeamComp. It's got a whole bunch of other stuff. I will try and put that somewhere where it can be easily found. But we will be streaming this on twitch.tv/WhatTeamComp. WhatTeamComp. because I know how to spell. Don't question me. It's the word what, team, and comp. C-O-M-P. I promise. Anyways.
Next week, do you want to keep doing human fall flat, or?
We might. I might have something else planned. I'll let you know in advance if anything
Alright.
comes up with that. Otherwise, in not next week, but the week after that, we will be doing more of whatever this goofy craziness is. I love it.
The gays!
Yes.
You're two the only gays.
It's fine. Eventually we'll convert Elizabeth.
No.
Look, Aurelius is a bicycle, but he's just like anything sexual, just whoosh. Anything
You're
romantic, whoosh.
You're bicycle, but I don't have a pin 15.
Anyways,
Anyway.
thank you guys for watching with us. Thank these goobers for playing with me in my world and being absolute maniacs. I love them. They're my friends, and I love them. But
I'm not
until
trying to be a maniac, I
you
swear.
are successfully being maniacs, we love you guys. We hope you all have fantastic weeks. And until next time, we will see you later. Bye-bye.
My dreams be monumental.